all of the team.
Gwynn and Chris are ready to go.
And let's get into it. Weekend coming up here. Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. Friday afternoon. Finally a Friday here on Gwynn and Chris. Chris alongside Bill House Studios, where we know how. Padres will be looking to start a new winning streak tonight after falling to the Giants 4-1 last night at Petco Park. And so there's that. I don't know. Like, are people, did everybody who just climbed back on the bandwagon, like, turn around? I hope not, right? It was one loss.
You're like, I'm done again.
Yeah, right.
I think there are people out there, Chris, that are just daily jump on the bandwagon.
I got to believe there's
going
to be a lot of people, a lot of Padre fans at the end of this season who are going to need knee surgery because they're twisting and turning their knees, jumping on, jumping off, turning. Yeah, it's one day, it's just hard to do that. I blame a lot of it on Robbie Ray. I mean, this guy's a former Cy Young Award winner. I thought he had a hell of a game last night, made some big pitches when he had to. And, frankly, if you saw the game, and, all of us did, and many of you, I'm sure, it really was a game the Giants could have won by a whole lot more. I thought the Padres made some big pitches themselves to kind of stay in the game early on. But, it's not much going on last night. One extra base hit and, 4 at-bats with runners in scoring position. And so, it's a loss, and you hope you come back tonight, Tony, of course.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with your assessment. Robbie Ray was effectively wild, when he needed pitches, he made pitches. You saw a couple of the Padre pitchers, dance their way out of some jams. They got some nice play defense behind them. But, all in all, Robbie Ray, he you could just see it. Like, no one was on the barrel. Like, there was a couple balls hit hard, but, not a ton. And, tip your cap to Robbie Ray. I'm interested in the bounce back, though. Like, what does it look like today? Do we get the offense to come out and swing the bats the way they really have for quite some time? It's been a long time since they hadn't had, I think, more than 5 hits. Until yesterday. Carson Wisenhunt is on the mound tonight for the Gigantes, and see if this offense can get back on track here.
Looks like Bradley Rodriguez, Padres did officially just tweet that out. I'd been reading it earlier, but Bradley will start tonight, which I imagine will lead us into some German Marquez. I thought it was interesting last night, Tony. I don't have the scorecard in front of me here, but
I do.
Okay, I mean, I'm watching the reason I'm bringing it up is because I thought it was interesting the way the Padres handled their pitching chaos last night. It was just a little bit different in the sense that J.P. Sears went more than one time through the rotation or through the batting order. He actually went 1.5 times through the batting order. And then really surprising to me was that with the score 3-1 and the Giants having 2 runners in scoring position in the 4th inning and a right-handed batter, Willie Adames, coming up, the way that the Padres have been doing it, that would have been the moment to bring your right-hander in out of the bullpen, but they left Sears in. He got the out. Hey, give him credit. He did it. And then a little later, they brought Peralta in for Sears and then finished up with Vasquez. So they did it a little different last night. I don't know, good, bad, or the other. I'm just curious. I wonder why Craig Stammen, they felt to do it a little different because the situation seemed prime to go to the right-hander in the 4th inning based on what they've been doing.
I think all in all, Sears threw the ball well. He made a couple mistakes. The Susac homer.
Yeah.
And then he was able to kind of dance through some of the other traffic that the Giants put together. I think they did that for really one reason. Sears was throwing the ball well enough. They left him in that first time. I don't think they wanted to bring Randy in without it being clean. They didn't want him to come in with traffic, and I think they got in both situations. They had already reached past the point where they were comfortable with the type of traffic that was on, and so I think that's why he stayed with Sears the first time, and I think the second time it came up, he went with Peralta because they still wanted to give Randy a kind of a
clean look.
Runway.
Yeah, well, you know, they pitched okay. I mean, they gave him 11 hits, 3 walks, couple of hit bat. I mean, the Giants had a lot of traffic. But, again, Padres made some good pitches. In fact, San Francisco's 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. So, all in all, you take away that one sloppy Rockies game. In the last week, the pitching has actually been pretty good. Look at some of the scores of these games, right? 5-2, 4-2, 3-1. And even last night, I thought they pitched okay. So, hopefully, I saw Fernando leads the game off with a bouncing single. I'm like, hey, here we go. Another night, man. This offense is going to roll. But yeah, it didn't click last night. So, good job by Robbie Ray is how I'm going to leave that game. Walker Buehler is going to be our Friar Friday guest today. Always fun to have Walker. I think it'll be a second appearance of the year on the Friar Friday.
Yes,
but
he's our first. Is he our first repeat? I think he is.
He might be, but I always like having Walker on. And I'd be curious to hear what his thoughts are on the way they've been doing the pitching lately. As a guy who certainly has a little different angle on it than we do. So he'll be coming on in a little bit. Of course, it's Friday. We'll have a countdown, Big Five, all that stuff a little bit later in the program. There was one game today. I bring it up because the Cubs lost, which they're the wild card leaders in the National League. But your guy, Skraby, Spencer Jones.
Another LCC guy killing it.
LCC hit a home run today for the Yankees in their 2-0 victory over the Cubs. Pete Crow Armstrong 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Nary a hip thrust today. Pete.
Nary a hip thrust.
I am so not a fan of that.
I'm not a fan
guy.
of the hip
Isn't
thrust
it terrible?
I'm
probably too mean, but
no,
I ought to get over it probably.
You know what I think it is? I think it's the lean back.
But, I want to hear what Tony says because I value his thoughts here.
No, you have been very get off my lawn-ish the last couple of months, man. I must say.
You think? Okay.
You've been
well, I did have a birthday,
George
Tony,
Collins
so I'm close. I had a birthday.
Yeah, you missed that last comment. You're sending us hustling videos now from Frank Robinson.
That's right. That's right. I wanted you to read that or listen to that and pay close attention to it.
But I was like, sentiment, but
how didn't you get the meaning of that? It wasn't even it wasn't the Frank Robinson part. It was the part at the end where the guy says, "Hey, it's what you do when no one's looking that matters." That's what it matters.
Bottom line, we're getting Frank Robinson inspirational speeches now.
Yeah, you're getting those.
Right, and once I saw that the video was from just after Black and White stopped, I didn't even pick it up and look at it. Honestly, I honestly did. I was like, I can't watch this video.
Well, you missed something spectacular then, Tony.
I mean, I'll say, Tony, it's a good message. Go back and watch it. But
Frank Robinson hit the ball off the wall at the Green Monster. He thought it was a home run. He jogged to first base. After the game, he was so upset that he went into the manager's office and he plopped $200 down on the table and apologized.
Why did he give $200?
Because I guess he was paying his own fine.
Was worth his hustle.
He was paying his own fine.
I would love to find players.
By the way, who else? Yeah, he has to pay his own fine, doesn't he? Who else is going to pay it for him?
Did they actually fine him?
No, he didn't. That's the point. He didn't. He wasn't fined. He fined himself.
I was wondering. I was like, what do you mean?
No, he fined
when
himself for not hustling.
okay.
That was the moral of the story. All right, never mind.
Gotcha.
No, I still want you to send those, though, because I do learn something.
Let me tell you something. I watched carefully last night from my perch on my lawn, and Luis Ariz grounded out last night. He jogged to first base. Somebody else grounded out for the Giant. It's just the way it is now. I have to just get away from this.
I can't. Every time I see a guy jog now, I think of you.
Yeah, stop it, because they're all jogging, and you're going to think of me far too often. So, yeah, I just have to get over it. I have to get over it.
I have an honest question. Because someone asked me this recently. Does Manny Machado bother you less when he jogs because he has done more in the game than when Fernando jogs?
No, he bothers me less because he's 34, and I can see him easing through a season a little more than I can a 27-year-old athlete in the prime of his career.
Fair.
But that's it. I'm not saying it anymore.
See, that's where it all breaks down, though. We got like different sets of rules for different sets of ages, and
that's right, Tony. When you get my age, you'll make different rules for different ages as well.
Probably.
Yes, you'll understand it better.
Yeah,
when
maybe you
guys
will be mad at Paige Beckers and Angel Reese for gambling on WNBA
that's
property.
just you being a hater, bro.
That's not.
I saw a good friend of yours tweet out last night that they should be not fined, not suspended. They should be removed from the WNBA forever.
Who was that?
Forever.
Who's my good friend?
I have no idea. Some idiot who agrees
so you're
with
saying,
you.
Oh, I gotcha.
That's your good friend.
I thought it was like someone that we knew or something. No, I don't think that they should be removed from the league. Just, you can't.
Stop being a hater, man. Just move on.
Walker Buehler needs to.
Yeah, Walker Buehler needs some time, and we'd rather hear from him than us. So we'll take our first break, come back with the Padre right-hander as Friar Friday gets rolling on Gwynn and Chris.
Pieces.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not used to complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard. Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
.217 on the clock. Friar Friday is the day. Walker Buehler will join us shortly. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matthew Skraby. Looking at around, 2:20, I believe, Walker will join us. Get a lot of thoughts. Walker's had an interesting season. He came back, really had to kind of reinvent himself and not throwing as hard as he used to, but has had to make it work. And outside of he had a stretch where it was rough early, then he got really good the month of June.
I think he had an ERA of like 1.9 or something like that.
Yeah, he was rolling.
Yeah.
And then it got a little wonky there for about 3 starts from Walker, and he has gradually started to kind of regain that stride that he had in June. And so we'll get to kind of talk to him a little bit about that journey. Chris brought up, maybe getting his thoughts on how this pitching of chaos has gone for them, and we'll just get his thoughts. Trade deadline looming. We saw saw one move go. I think A.J. Minter went from the Mets to the Twins.
Yes, that is a blockbuster to kick things off. It's not A.J. Minter.
All right, let's get to.
Sorry, I was communicating with Tony. I don't know that he heard your joke.
Yes, and I know.
No,
but everybody else did, and
sorry.
I'm sure people are guffawing as they go down the road.
Let's bring on our Friar Friday guest, Walker Buehler, starting pitcher for the San Diego Padres. Walker, how are you today, my friend?
Good. How you guys doing?
We are doing well. You guys back at it again today. Just want to get your kind of thoughts, man, on the year for yourself, man. You came into camp. There's a lot of talk about you kind of having to reinvent yourself, not throwing at the velocity you used to. Just talk us through a little bit about, where you started and where you feel like you are right now in that kind of journey.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously this is kind of the third year of going through, getting back from the surgery and kind of having to pitch a little bit differently. And probably the first 4 or 5 starts were, somewhat a little bit of the same stuff I've been dealing with for a couple of years now, right? And had a good little stretch there and for 8 or 9 or 10 starts and 3 around the All-Star break. So it's kind of been a little bit up and down, but I think if I take a step back and look at it, I think outside of the 3 around the All-Star break, I've been really pleased with what we've kind of been able to put together and achieve. And I think obviously there's some room for me to try and, take down some more innings, be a little bit more efficient and things like that. But all in all, I've been pretty pleased with some of this, kind of strides we've taken.
Padre pitcher Walker Buehler joining us on the SDCCU fan hotline. Not big bank banking, it's better. Walker, when I play golf and I hit a seed 220 right down the middle, I'm really excited. And then I get to the next hole and I'm like, All right, how did I do that? I can't replicate it, obviously, or I'd be, So as a professional pitcher, I'm sure what you were doing in June, you would love to replicate, every time out. But there's other factors, right? The other guys are standing in the batter's box too. So, I'm just wondering how you've dealt with, trying to get back to June as quickly as you can.
Yeah, I think the past two outings I've given up a few runs kind of here and there and been pretty pleased with it, but largely it's been, self-induced, right? Walking guys or kind of putting myself in a bad spot. And so for me, I think the kind of recipe is what it is. Don't put guys on base, and I'm going to give up hits here and there, but you avoid the big one and avoid the big inning. Things have kind of been good, and my first three in July were kind of the opposite of that, and that I was getting hit and hit kind of hard, as well as kind of making the mistakes on my own. So luckily we've kind of gotten rid of a little piece of that, and I think it's kind of putting it all together. It's hard to say that this late in the year, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to get back to being a really good major league starting pitcher, and I don't know if that's necessarily something that happens overnight or in 1 year, but I think we've done a really good job, and the coaching staff has helped me a ton in terms of getting my body in a spot that at least it can kind of catch up to what, the stuff my brain wants to do.
Walker Buehler joins us here on Friar Friday. Talk to me a little bit about your cutter, man, because I've been watching you all season long. It just seems like to me when your cutter is on, a whole lot of good starts to happen. Has the cutter first tell me if I'm wrong. Secondly, if that is the case, has it always been that way? Has the cutter always been? Because I just think back to that start against LA. I mean that thing had them in spinning in circles, basically.
Yeah,
has it always been that way with the cutter?
Yeah, I think what's interesting about that pitch in particular, I really started throwing a lot of them in 2021, which was probably my best year. And, I think people kind of forget that pitch is based off the fastball, right? And so, there's certain days where I feel like we overuse it or I throw too many of them and we get deeper into games and it's kind of not as effective. And so, I think trying to establish my four-seam fastball, regardless of the fact that it's not 95, 97, 98 like it was, in years past, I think is important for me, and letting that kind of be a weapon and not really the whole show. And I think in a lot of these games that I've pitched well, these cutters are late in at bats or in advantage counts, not trying to bail me out. And I think, I have a tendency to kind of run to it when things get a little squirrely on me, but the games that I've been really good this year or felt really good about the way I threw the ball, largely the cutter wasn't kind of as common a throw. It was a little bit more sparingly, but I think especially with some of the struggles that I've had and trying to kind of survive any way I can, I think naturally we're going to throw a lot of them. And I just think it moves a little bit differently than other people's cutters. I think in today's day and age in our game, everything's so data driven and everyone kind of can quantify everything that everyone does, right? And so we're trying to find ways to throw, some people call them unicorn pitches or just kind of outliers, certain release points, certain heights, how you can make the ball move from certain spots, creates angles that are hard for hitters to deal with. And I think my cutter largely is one of those pitches that there's just not many of them that move quite in the same, shape that mine does.
Yeah.
Walker Buehler is with us, and I'll tell you, Walker, I'm having a great time listening to you talk about pitching and controlling the baseball. I mean, for somebody that did a little of the pitching there myself, but not at the pro level, that's really fun to listen to a guy that's been doing this. And I mean, I don't know that you realize, but I just looked at this. You've started 167 games in your career. You've only been the losing pitcher 34 times. This guy's not easy to beat. And, I think that speaks to your great toughness and mentality out there. But I want to ask you about the new fangled pitching chaos, which you're not necessarily a part of, or at least on the periphery of. As a pitcher, what do you think of it? And what do you think of it for this team? It's actually seemed like it's worked pretty well here.
Oh, you're talking about kind of how we're operating our
right, with
here?
the 2 innings here and kind of piggybacking, that kind of thing.
I think people kind of forget. Obviously I spent a lot of years in LA. We did some wild stuff over there as well, and the game is just different now, right? Not everyone lines up and throws 7 innings off the jump like they used to, and as I said, I think everything's a little bit more quantifiable, and it takes way less time for guys to get figured out here. And so this kind of new bulk role that I think is coming into the big leagues is it has certainly been effective, and we've been doing some really good things with it. I think on my head in the union side, having been the rep in LA for a bit, I think it's a very tough role for a player because the current system, as we've got the CBA kind of coming up, is not set up to reward guys like that. So I don't want to kind of tinfoil hat and say that teams are doing it for that reason, but it certainly doesn't hurt when you have a guy that can go and give you bulk innings, and then you don't have to pay him like a starting pitcher, right? And so there's just a lot about, kind of things that are effective but aren't effectively great for the player. I think the starting pitching, the lack of kind of traditional starting pitching, or the way that role has changed is bad for players. And so, at the end of the day, I'm happy that we're winning, and I think a lot of these guys are kind of finding success in that role. I think all of them would tell you they'd rather throw 5 or 6 innings at a time as well, and that's how they grew up. And so it's an interesting deal. Obviously, we're in the middle of a playoff run, and we're trying to, kind of piece it together. But, at least for me personally, that's not something I would really be interested in doing or think that I would do very well at. I think a lot of the value in myself as a player is that, like, I'm not afraid to go throw 100 pitches even when I'm losing, and stay in games and try and eat innings and things like that, or when things are going well to try and be efficient enough to stay in there for a while. So, I think that's a little bit more in my head than it is in kind of what's happened for me on the field this year. But at the end of the day, that's what I was kind of raised doing, and that's what I did when I was at my best. And I think that's what I'm kind of looking to try and achieve myself.
Walker, fun question before we let you get out of here, and I've been paying close attention. I don't know that it has anything to do with weather, but how do you decide if you go long sleeve or if you go suns out, guns out? Because I've seen you do it both in hot and cold weather. It hasn't seemed to matter.
Listen, man, sometimes it's just too damn hot out there, but I like to wear sleeves. I don't really know why. That's kind of a new development. But no, I mean, listen, a lot of what I wear, cleats, gloves, sleeves, is based on if it went good or bad for me the last time, and if I'm just sticking with it or not. So, certain jerseys I think fit me a little bit better. These ones we're wearing tonight are a little baggy. I've got a smaller jersey in this one. I also am not a huge fan of the pink sleeves. I would like a navy sleeve with it. So when we wear these ones, I don't wear sleeves. I don't think it's quite as scientific as anyone may imagine.
Yeah, but it's not like he's never thought about it. He does kind of have it pretty well figured out.
We spend a lot of time in here thinking. I just don't think many of us think about anything too smart.
Hey, Walker, thanks so much. Can I just add one thing? Tony will tell you this. I was once pitching at San Diego State. I got taken out in the 6th inning of a game. I think I had a shutout, but there were runners on base. The manager came out, and he made the move, and I started walking off the mound, a total no-no, to the dugout and flipped him the ball on my way by. Suffice to say, yes, I paid a price.
No, he said he respects it.
Yeah, but is that what he said? I didn't hear him. I was going to say, but how you do it is amazing, because I see the look on your face. You never want to come out of the game, and I think that's one of the great things about you. So.
Well, listen, it is my first year. Hopefully we get to come back for a second year. Maybe we'll get a little more fireworks. But at the end of the day, I am kind of the new guy. I'm trying to stay in the good graces a little bit.
Walker, we appreciate you coming on and hanging with us, man. Have a good one the rest of the day.
Thanks, Walker.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Walker Buehler, Friar Friday. Always.
I love how he said, I respect that.
That made my day.
He didn't even let you finish before he said, I respect that.
Yeah, you weren't even done with your story.
I know.
It was awesome.
I have felt bad about doing that for like 40 years. I no longer feel bad.
Good.
No,
yeah,
you shouldn't.
good.
You
Now
shouldn't.
respect
It was
by
really
Walker
has been
Buehler.
lifted.
Right, exactly.
I thought that was really interesting. Hear him kind of break down both of those questions we asked him in terms of breaking down the cutter and like why that's so important, and then kind of giving you guys some of the insights to how those players are thinking about some of this. Listen, it's August, so they're not thinking about it as much because it's go time, but like those are definitely side conversations that happen down there. Right
I
there.
could totally see a team be like, hey, we're going to make you a bulk guy. And even though you're basically our starter, we're not going to pay you because you're our bulk guy.
Well, you're a bulk guy, and you don't get any wins because you don't pitch long
you don't
enough
get
to
the
get a
stats.
victory. Yeah.
You don't get wins. You don't get even enough innings, really, at that point, right?
Yeah.
You're going 4. That's not going to get you anywhere. It puts you in no man's land.
The other thing that I liked, there was one quick note in there. He talked about throwing the successful a cutter when he had an advantage pitch. In terms of what he meant, I think was when the count's in his favor, those pitches work a lot better. And that's what we've been talking about all year with Griffin Canning and a lot of these guys. Get ahead in the count, man. Everything is better.
It's naturally better because the hitter, because there's 2 strikes, there is a defense that is built in. The really good hitters that can get over the fact that there's 2 strikes and pretend like it's just 0-0. Those are the tougher guys to get. But most of us, like regular folk, when you get to 2 strikes, it's like, oh damn.
Yeah.
Here we go. We gotta get defensive. You no longer have a weapon in your hand to do damage. You now have a weapon in your hand
To defend
protect.
yourself. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but that ball darts in and out of the zone, and you swing, and that it works. But if you're ahead 3-1, you can take it because you don't care if it's a strike. That's what he meant, I think, by the advantage. It was a good interview.
All right.
Good stuff, Tony.
That was great. Walker Buehler was our Friar Friday guest. Let's get to break. On the other side, we have more Gwynn and Chris.
Gwynn and Chris on the
Walker Buehler signed off on my move. I love it. Sorry, Coach Dietz. May you rest in peace, sir. But now I'm happy I flipped the ball to you after all this time. Walker Buehler, our guest on Friar Friday.
You know what the difference is now is that I do think that managers in today's game are more equipped. They still wouldn't take the disrespect.
Right.
They just wouldn't handle it the same way. Like, you know what I'm saying? They would wait and they'd have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
Back then, if you did that, you getting shown up. Like, they coming back at you right
No,
then.
Coach dragged me right back on the mound. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grab my ear. And said,
I'm
"Let's
going to deal with this later. I'm dealing with it right now.
Yeah. That was fun. Hope you enjoyed that interview. Walker, by the way, will pitch tomorrow night in the Game 3 of the Giant Padres series. Tonight, Bradley Rodriguez has been announced as the starter for the Padres, and it is Wisenhunt for the Gigantes, who won last night by a score of 4-1. All guests, again, joining us on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bank Banking, it's better. Skraby's here as well. We're going till about 5:30, a little past. Is that right? Or is this an Apple
Yes,
TV
it is.
game?
So we're going 5:35.
Oh, well.
Which means you can listen to Tony and Jesse.
Yeah, that's the good news. You can watch if you got Apple TV and you take the time to, stream the game and it take,
You make it sound like you're running on a wheel or something.
All right, let me tell you something. When I click on my Roku, right, and then all of my services pop up, Netflix is here, Hulu's there. Apple TV never downloads the first time. It takes like 3 efforts. I don't know what it is about Apple TV.
Your internet?
Why would that matter when all the other ones just I click and it goes and they pop right up? Why would that be the internet's fault?
Because usually when something doesn't load, it's because of the internet.
I know.
Chris, don't take the bait, man.
I know. I'm
There's
not.
no bait.
No,
There's
I'm
no
fighting
bait.
him on this because he's completely
He's
wrong.
baiting you. He's baiting you.
The
I'm not
Apple
baiting
TV app sucks. That's what it is for.
Jeez.
That's what it's from. But once you get there, you can watch the game and you can listen to Tony and Jesse's call, which is very cool.
Yes.
So
There's a new flick on Apple TV. Speaking of Apple TV, that I think you guys would think is pretty funny.
all right.
It's gosh, I don't know the actor's name. It's about he's a former tennis player that is now being forced to play what's the old man tennis game or old
Pickleball?
tennis game? Pickleball. And he's being forced to play pickleball. It's hilarious. It's the dude from I'll look it up while we finish what we're doing.
Is it called The
go ahead.
Dink?
The Dink. Yeah.
Yes, it's called The Dink.
I actually stayed up. I let it play like to fall asleep, and then I couldn't fall asleep because I was actually like giggling at it as it was happening. So,
I
think
like
you guys
that
actually
guy.
like
It's his name is I don't know his name, but I know him from Jake Johnson. He's in
Jake,
he used to be a New Girl.
New Girl. That's what the show he was.
Yeah.
That's right. Anyway, you guys check it out. I think everybody would like it.
The
It's fun.
Dink's worth a laugh. I like that. We can all use a laugh for sure. The trade deadline is what, Monday or Tuesday? I get
Monday.
So this is at the weekend, pretty much, and then I guess most of it will happen on Monday. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few things. One thing that happened today to just keep everybody in the know. Mets right-hander Freddie Peralta was scratched from his start tonight. That unless he stubbed his toe getting out of his car, pretty much means that he's getting traded. So we'll keep our ear to the ground for that, but nothing official yet. And, the Padres get into the weekend. If you had to rate it, I'll ask you first, Skraby, while Tony and I kick this around. But if you had to go 1, 2, 3, and from the most likely Padre to be traded, who would be number 1 on your list? Not saying you want to trade them or
I know.
Just if you think somebody would get traded from the big league roster, who would be number 1? Morejon?
Yep, I've been saying that for a while. Just not because they don't want him,
Right.
but because he's going to. But the thing is I don't know how much a single Morihone is going to bring you back. Like, is it going to bring you back a position player or a big leaguer? I don't know. I'm not sure if it can bring you back a big leaguer. So it depends on what you really.
Well, if it doesn't bring you back a big leaguer, I don't think the
I
Padres
don't think
should
they
be
would do
involved
it.
at all.
But do they want to subtract, or what are they, addition by subtraction, and get rid of one of your better pitchers in order to bring in a
No, if you're
bench guy?
if you're gonna trade Morihone, I want at least a starting outfielder or a 3 or 4 starter. I think that's the minimum.
I think it's really hard to do this because you don't. They're yes, in the grand scheme of things, you probably aren't going to get a lot for Morihone. But if you were to trade him, there may be one team that you'll be able to get more from that already has needs. You just need the right partner, when it comes to it. But we don't know that. I don't. It's hard for me to envision somebody like that being traded.
I can't either.
So
I
who's
really
your
can't.
number
It
one?
really is.
Well, I think he would be
Okay.
because I don't think they're going to trade anybody.
Well, the report out earlier today saying that Mason Miller is not going to be traded, which we've all been saying for like weeks. But
somebody tell Jeff Passan then to
that
drop
wasn't
it
his
already.
report. It wasn't his report.
Goodness,
it was
Jeff.
It was
CBS.
Alvin's report.
Yeah.
Well, Bob Nightingale, by the way, we love Bob around here. Bob Nightingale wrote at least 3 stories this week. Not only that he thought that Mason Miller would be and should be traded, but he said that there were he called them rival execs. So I don't know who rival execs are, Tony, but try to figure that out. Rival execs said Mason Miller will for sure be traded, according to Bob
That's
Nightingale.
wishful
earlier this
thinking
week.
from teams that don't want to see the Padres have Mason Miller.
I don't know
Like,
what
oh,
it is.
yeah.
And unless we have to eat our words Monday, I think it's kind of lousy reporting, frankly. Because you can throw anybody's name and say, I've heard that they're going to get traded. I mean, I think there should be some substance to
You're not wrong.
some of this stuff.
What about like a Morihone for Moniak? Straight up.
Straight up.
Tony just gave me a look. Moniak is great here in Petco. He's a good outfielder.
It's okay. No, he's good.
This is more of me saying it.
Mickey's having a great year. I just
Yeah,
don't
he is.
know. Morihone.
I get it.
Morihone. You know what I'm saying?
I think you
I get
could I think you could get closer. Let's put it this way: Moniak versus whoever you're going to put in left field, I think is closer than Morihone leaving and what you would replace him with.
Yeah, I agree.
That make any sense?
It
Okay.
totally does. And that's
Yeah.
why I don't think my likelihood of him getting traded
I'm
is
not even. I've
not
given
that
up
high.
on like trying to figure this out because I have a feeling that it's gonna. We're not even in the same. We're not even in the same ballpark.
I love that
Honestly.
too. AJ must look at it just for fun though. Right? And just go, oh my God, look
would
at this
if-
idiot over here. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
He's got the
My-
show on right now.
Yeah, he's loving it. Listen to Chris.
If
What a
I
dummy.
was AJ,
Yeah.
my staff and I would have a great laugh about
Yeah.
some of the stuff.
Yeah, right.
When they end up being so wrong.
Did they say Moniak? What are they talking about?
But I do love it when people send me real trades. Like, what do you think of this? And it has like it's like Xander and some of those guys for like Shea Langoliers. It's like that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Well, it would be pretty silly at this point, being as Langoliers isn't even going to play this year.
I'll take him next year.
All right. Everybody wants to get rid of Xander so badly that they're willing to do almost anything, I guess. ESPN did have their list today, so I thought we'd have, because everybody's talking about the trade deadline, whether we love it or not. Top 10 guys that are likely to be traded and where they're going. Here we go. Number 1, Tigers trade Tariq Skubal to the Braves. Anybody's thoughts on that?
That'd be a
Dodgers
big
are they're
pickup
saying
for
are
the
kind
Braves
of
right there.
sorry.
That'd be a huge pickup for the Braves right there. That would be a monster one. Right
They
there.
said somebody wrote that if they get Tariq Skubal, you almost would have to go back to the beginning of time to find a staff with 2 better left-handed starters, because you'd have Chris Sale and Skubal.
Yep.
I haven't gone through every staff ever, but that would be two pretty good left-handed
Will you
starters. So.
make that a priority over the weekend to go through every staff in baseball history? And
with
tell me?
my level of knowledge, it won't take all weekend.
Oh wow!
Yeah, well,
wow.
You know what? When you say something dumb, you get kind of a snotty response. Number 2,
wasn't
Angels
dumb.
trade Reed Detmers to the Dodgers. Lefty from the Halos. I think the Dodgers are going to get a pitcher because they only have 7 or 8 of them, and they're worried they may still need another, and why not? They can afford it. So Detmers would be, wouldn't scare me too much. I don't even know that he'd make the starting rotation for the playoffs.
Yeah, Detmers is not that one doesn't.
You don't like that one.
Me.
All right, number 3, Mets trade Freddie Peralta back to the Brew Crew.
That would be interesting. That would be. I mean, it makes sense.
I would think Freddie Peralta still has the ability to, I don't know, switch the thing back on, right?
Listen, man, everybody's not built to pitch in that
pitch
place,
in New
man.
York, because this guy was lights out for the Brewers.
And there seems to be some dysfunction there, as well. So, you go from a Milwaukee environment where, listen, I've been in that organization where everybody is like. Everybody knows everyone. They know your family. It's a very family-oriented organization. And then you go to New York where the big lights, and it's just a different ballgame.
Freddie Peralta, I will give him a little credit. I mean, he said about himself that he feels like he failed, this franchise or this organization, which signed him for some pretty big money. Number 4, Toronto Blue Jays trade Kevin Gausman to the Phillies. Gausman has had better years, 2.93 in the postseason last year. Gausman has not been as good this year. But I would say that would not surprise me in the sense the Phillies must get a starter. There's something like 50 games over 500 when Luzardo or Sanchez or the third guy. They have 3
Wheeler?
Wheeler, thank you. When those guys start, they're like 50 games over 500. And when anyone else starts, they're 50 games under 500. Like they have to get a 4th starter. So we'll see if the Phillies do.
Everybody needs starters. So
yes, right.
Get in line.
All right. San Francisco Giants are going to trade. This is number 5 on the ESPN list. San Francisco Giants are going to trade Luis Ariz back to the Rays. No, not to the Padres. To the Rays. I don't know. Do the Rays need Luis Ariz? And does he win the batting title if he goes to the American League, or do they have to start? I don't know.
I don't know who's the leader in the American League, but I would assume he's probably at the top.
Well, Yordan Alvarez is the leader. Strangely, Tony, he's got the Triple Crown right now.
What's he hitting?
Ariz?
Rise versus Alvarez. Who's
Alvarez.
ahead? It's close. I don't know exactly. Skraby will check it out.
Rise went over yesterday. He had 328.
Oh yeah, because I know
328.
he
What's
went into the
Alvarez?
game 3-3. I'm trying to figure it out.
While you're looking that up, what is it about Luis Ariz, Tony, that he has to be traded twice a year every year? Why can't anybody just take this guy?
Yeah, it is true. That guy has to move so many times.
God!
Because everybody can use that type of bat. And the Giants, given that they suck this year, they don't have a need for him, and they can get something for him. So he's always in the thing because he's generally going to be cheap. He's generally going to help your team, most likely. And you're going to be, in this case, you're going to be able to flip signing him and get something out of it.
Yordan Alvarez 321.
Oh, so Rise is
he would be the
ahead
American
of him.
League.
Yeah.
He'd be the Rod Carew.
Let me ask you this real
time.
quick, because my friend texted me and wanted my thoughts, and I'll give him your thoughts. Is this Buster Posey's only shot right here with being able to use everything on the table for him to rebuild? Can he fail this trade deadline and still continue to be thought of as a good GM? I feel like this is his time right here.
How long has he had the job? This is the second year?
Yeah, I think second. Well, I think Giants fans are thinking that this is pretty important for the team. Because
I also talked to one of the writers who I know from San Francisco, John Shea, good guy who worked here.
I saw John yesterday.
Yeah, and I asked him, I said, how's Vitello done, really? From a perspective of somebody who's there all the time. And he said he's actually done fine. I mean, he said he's taken way too much criticism. And Shea said, look, I mean, it's his learning year. Like the whole year is a learning year for him. So he said, I don't even think you can begin to judge Vitello till next year. And the Giant fans aren't going to want to hear this because they're going to want him fired at the end of the year. But it's probably not going to happen. So,
Yeah.
number 6, Marlins trade Liam Hicks, catcher, to the Yankees. I don't know. The Yankees have to do something, I guess, and Mason Miller is still their first desire.
Sorry.
Yeah, right. Number 7, this makes sense. Mets trade Clay Holmes to the Cubs. Holmes is a pretty good pitcher. He's been hurt, though, the last 2 months. Cubs are looking for pitching and have been for a while. Clay Holmes is the type of player I would take, Tony, here.
Yep.
So
I would too.
You can give me a number good solid 4 starter. Maybe he's got, upside as a 3 starter. Clay Holmes would qualify for me, although, like I said, he's coming off he's been on the IL. Tigers trade Gleyber Torres to the Red Sox. I guess that would be because the guy the Red Sox just got, Curtis Mead from the Nationals, is already hurt and probably out for the year.
That's so brutal.
Yeah, what a tough deal that was.
And they traded like they're young, and the fans are kind of mad about it to begin with.
Yeah, Connolly early went to the Nationals. Blue Jays trade Dalton Varsho to the D-backs. I would say I hope that doesn't happen because I think Varsho's pretty good.
I lost track there for a second. I was like, wait, that just happened?
No, that's number 9. That's number 9.
Yeah,
you're safe. At number 10, the Mariners trade pitcher Emerson Hancock to the Cardinals. So the interesting thing about those 10 from ESPN, there's no longer a Mason Miller mention. So we're happy about that.
Yeah.
Padres and Giants tonight. More Gwynn and Chris ahead. It's been good so far.
o'clock on the dial. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Cello, Matt Skraby. Padres return to action. Game 2 of the 4-game set. They go down 4-1 last night. Not a whole lot of offense. Decent pitching from the Pods. Just couldn't score enough runs. Robbie Ray was on his thing last night, his game. He was
That was Robbie Ray.
I didn't hear
night.
him last night. Was
You
he?
didn't?
Oh,
No.
I don't know how you didn't hear him. He was grunting up a storm.
Sitting in the I was in the press box level, which I guess you were too, Tony. But I don't get the behind the seat, behind the plate seating. By the way, I was in the saying hi to Tony and Jesse before the game, and just what we were talking about, Skraby. John Miller came in. And,
No way.
Yeah, I didn't talk to him. I was scared to death.
We talked about it
Say hello.
yesterday.
Chris patted him on his shoulder like twice as he came in.
Yeah, I was hoping that maybe he would go, oh, hey. But, yeah, I didn't.
Instead, he's like, who's this guy patting on my shoulder?
He tried to set himself up for John to be like, say, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And John just kind of let him just go on by. So I'll take you guys a little bit behind the scenes. We have a kind of a running joke game in here that it's become quite funny. So John has a tendency to walk in here, minutes before game time. And it's funny, yesterday, one of their PR guys was in here, and I initially thought he was kind of like watching John to make sure he got back into his booth in time before the game, but he was actually in there to tell us that the first base coach was not who they had him, and it had nothing to do with John. But so we have a kind of a running bet, like what time will John walk in? I think our times last night were 6:28, 6:32, or 6:30, and I think I settled at 6:32. Mind you, we come on air at probably like 6:35. And there's been a couple times where John has walked in like, I'm doing lineups. And he's having a full conversation with Jesse. At one point we had to go get Jesse because I had finished the lineups, and he was, John was talking him up.
See, I know
none of us are gonna be like, John, we gotta go. Like, he's a legend. Like, we gonna let him talk. If y'all gotta wait before we come on air, then y'all just gonna have to wait.
That is such an uncomfortable producer moment.
Yesterday I lost. I came in a little high. Dave Marcus got the time. Right on the dot.
But he came in late because I was. That's when I came in also. Because I got to the game, I had to ask Tony or tell him something real quick. That's honestly why I tapped him on the shoulder. I know you guys are making fun of me, correctly so. I tapped him on the shoulder so I could get past him because I had to give Tony something, but. It's fair to poke fun at me because I am in awe of John Miller. So he came in, like you said, really late, and I was standing back there with Marcus, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of weird. The game's going to start in a minute, and he was just asking any old question, and I know there was no disrespect intended by John Miller, but when the national anthem was played, he just kind of kept on asking the questions. It didn't really slow him down. He took his hat off. He showed the respect. He took his hat off, but he still kept asking questions. These poor guys are trying to listen to the national anthem. Game's getting underway. And I couldn't overhear it a little bit, but I think he was just kept asking you about the pitching chaos and who was going to do what, right? So it was a little bit of an involved answer, and you don't have time because the game was starting.
Well, we had enough. Jesse had enough time. I was like, I actually shook his hand and said, John, I have to go
get in there,
lineups. And he always, and I'm not gonna lie, the first couple times he stood here, I was nervous as hell doing those lineups. Like, I had never done them before because John Miller is over my left shoulder, and of course I bungled like the first couple names as he was standing there. It was just nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking. That's like a dude I grew up listening to baseball. Like, he was one of the main voices in young Tony's head growing up, and he's sitting there having full conversations with us.
Yeah, well, you sound like Skraby and I were talking about him yesterday for sure, and he is a legend. But he is kind of a a funky older guy now, just kind of popping into the booth kind of whenever he feels like it. Doesn't he have to get back and call the game for them?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He definitely does. He definitely does, and that is the funny part is that he is in here like he doesn't have to go back to do his game. And there's been many a times they gotta come get John out of our booth. Actually, it says a lot, I guess, about Justin. He actually enjoys our company because he often, when we play each other, he's in here. Like almost every time right before game time.
Don't kid yourself, Cohen. He told me last time when he did talk to me that he's only in there because he likes Dave Marcus's coffee maker.
So is that what it is? That makes sense. It makes sense.
He likes the coffee maker. No, that was fun.
Coffee maker is clutch, though.
Coffee maker. Got to have it. Got to have a good one. What were we supposed to talk about? We were going to do this.
Talk about Craig Stammer.
I know. I forgot what we were going to do. Yeah.
We do need to hear from Craig Stammer. Early this morning, Padres manager Craig Stammer joined Ben and Woods for the management report presented by SDCCU. It's not big bank banking. It's better. Of course, we had to ask him, or they had to ask him, about the whole pitching chaos, how it came about, whose idea it was, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think, we try to plan it way out ahead of time, and we realize this is a lost cause. It changes on a daily basis. So, we meet daily before the game, we meet daily after the game and talk about our pitching plan. It kind of came about, with everybody, all of us kind of talking together, the front office, pitching group, myself, other people in the organization, just to all right, how can we maximize our pitching staff in its current state? How can we get the best out of them? Is it the traditional 5-man rotation? Is it just kind of waiting and seeing and trying to predict, when they're, going to give up a run and try to get them out ahead of time? Or, should we schedule it a little bit more? Should we make it a little bit more specific? So all those things we discussed and kind of came up with this way we're doing it for now. And, hopefully at some point, we get back to that normal, 5-man rotation. But at this point, the way it is, it's worked all right a couple games. We're kind of getting to the point now where we're running out of bodies, fresh arms. But, hopefully when Walker pitches and Michael pitches, that kind of, gives those guys a breather, and then we can get back at it again. But it's definitely a changing thing daily, nightly, in game. It's a lot of work on our end, but it's also, fun to, try to help us win games in a creative manner.
Sorry, Tony. I saw him walk out to the mound last night in one situation and to change the pitcher, but he was still looking over his shoulder talking to, I think, Ruben or one of the bench coaches. It looked like they were still kind of deciding what to do or how to do it.
Yeah, it was Plawecki, which means I think it was more about letting the catcher know something about what was about to happen in terms of the pitching change. Because I was watching that too. He kind of turned back, and it was Kevin Plawecki, the Padres catching coordinator, who was kind of responding to him. I
would also like to defend myself and the good name of one Kevin Acee, because in the Kevin Acee newsletter yesterday, it talked, and I quote, "The Padres pitching quilt is covering innings as well as could possibly be expected." That is a Kevin Acee term, and I was the one who was using it, and everybody else is like, what are you talking about? So it was Kevin Acee.
I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah. But a lot of people thought, right, what are you calling it that for? I took a lot of crap on the roundtable for that.
Oh, did you? That's right, because everybody, it was like crickets when you said that, huh?
Yeah, it's what's a quilt? Who says that? I said, well, I think Kevin Acee does. And that, anyway, Kevin, if it's good enough for Kevin Acee, guys, come on. Good enough for me.
Definitely. I just don't, I don't think the quilt thing, really describes what's happening.
Oh, yeah, no, it does when did you hear how Kevin used it right there?
Yes.
Could you read that for me one more time, Chris?
Yes, I think it's excellently written, I might say. Hold on. I'm about 12 button pushes away from finding it again.
You clicked out?
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, their pitching quilt is covering innings as well as could possibly be expected. You know what? That's
What
a
does the
double.
quilt do?
That's a double meaning there. Not only is the quilt stitched together, but the quilt is covering innings.
Covering.
I guess.
That's
So
a
he's got a
double
it's a
entendre.
double thing there. Good job, Kevin AC. Yeah, even better.
See, chaos
on the quilt.
Anyway, go ahead, Tony.
On the effectiveness of the quilt, because that's what it really was really about, the question. I appreciate Stam's realness as it pertains. He said it's worked a couple times, but we're starting to run out of bodies, fresh arms to continue to do this. And he didn't say it, but because he pivoted by saying, hopefully every time Walker. But I felt like he wanted to say, hopefully by Monday, AJ has
yes, when we've got a couple of
it.
real pitchers in here.
Because here's the thing, Michael threw 6 innings the other day, gave up the 4 runs. Those are kind of the outings that he's talking about. But even coming short of that by 1, then puts an extra inning on one of those arms that you want to use in this quilt that we're talking about. And so, I think it's feasible to see it for this week. I don't know how you get beyond this week. Remember when the Tigers did it, they're a little bit closer to the finish line in 24 or 25.
We still got 2 months to go.
They weren't in July starting that. So, there's some distance that has to be covered, and I'm not 100% sure it can be covered this way moving like all the way forward.
I think Clay Holmes will settle that when he comes in. I'm now calling for that trade to be made.
Not a bad one.
Yeah.
Is he going to be added to the quilt?
No. Once he gets here, then they don't have to do the quilt. Stop picking on the quilt.
You can kind of cut.
You know what?
Yeah, you don't have to have the quilt.
I'm going to make him come face to face with Kevin Acee the next time.
I am not saying it's Acee's fault. I just
you're totally ripping this,
Okay,
and
all
yes, you
right.
are.
All right. That's fine. That's fine.
Well, you're poking fun at it. You said, what, is Clay Holmes going to be in the quilt?
I was asking you a question.
The quilt covered the innings. I love it. Kevin Acee, man.
Skraby, do you think, and I know they asked the question. Did you listen to the answer? Did he answer the question on what he would want from AJ? I know he did answer it.
I did not listen to it, but I can tell you I like the guys that we have on our team, but if we can get better, we can get better. Do you want me to put, let me go get it.
Let's go for it.
Let's see how close you came. Let's see how close you come, Skrabe.
What did I say? I like all the guys on our team.
Yeah, you're predicting you're predicting Craig Stammen's answer.
Yes.
I'm predicting he doesn't say any of that.
Okay, all right. Maybe he gives us something. Here we go.
We talk about that stuff very often, not even during the trade deadline. How can we maximize our roster? What options do we have? Those types of things. And, I leave a lot of that up to him. I give my opinion. It's not like a strong opinion. I trust what he and the front office are doing with the roster, and then we kind of go from there. But, it's clear, like, we're running a pitching staff that's, we're running it just a little bit differently than what, we're normally accustomed to. And, would we rather have 5 starters roll out there that can go 6-7 innings? Yeah, that's, obvious. But are we figuring out a way to win this way too? And that's kind of where it goes. Like, yeah, you could change the roster, but does it help you win or not? And I think, that's his decision-making to make, me to help him talk through it and be someone that's in his corner and can give him what my thoughts or my opinion, and then we all collectively make a good decision on what's best for our team.
All right, so he gave us something.
I was going to say, was Skraby correct?
No, the reason I said it that way is
Tony was more correct.
I said it that way is because someone asked him before the game the other day about this, and he said, no, I like all my players. I think that these players could take me to a World Series, and so that's what I thought he was going to say.
Gotcha.
Like I said, he gave nothing. All right, let's get to break. On the other side, where you guys going?
We're gonna maybe we haven't had a daily gambit.
No, we
week.
haven't. We should do a daily gambit. So that's what we'll do.
Because people love that part.
The degenerates are right there ready for
well,
you
we
guys.
They sent me a death threat because we haven't been doing
it. Exactly. Well, they're degenerates. That's what Tony just said.
I know.
More Gwynn and Chris on the other side. Daily Gambit coming your way.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's your latest traffic.
Tony will be with us later. Got a big 5 to get to. That's at 4:30. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, countdown. Skraby category today. And so stick around for the madcap chaos that usually accompanies a Skraby countdown category. Walker Buehler earlier, and I mean, he may still be Manny Machado, but Walker Buehler might just have moved to the head of the class.
He did say
his appreciation of my poor behavior on the mound.
Yes, you'll get to hear it again
many
at 520.
years ago. Yeah, Walker Buehler, man, a fan of Chris Ello.
Yeah,
I was really excited.
Not even just a fan. He
or just to what I
respects you.
did. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I was really excited by that. Walker's interview a little later. Right now, though, some big 5. We got to check in on some games.
Daily Gambit.
I mean, right, Daily Gambit. Duh.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in the Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. We have no bets to review.
That's
move
good.
forward.
We didn't lose anything.
Let's move forward.
All right, Padres are favored over the Giants by 1.5 runs. That despite a Gigante victory last night. Skraby, you go first. Padres win. Giants win. Giants won last night. Giants have won a couple here lately.
I'm gonna go Padres. I'm expecting the Giants to be the Giants at some point.
Yeah, I don't think Wisenhunt is as as good as Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray was good.
I don't know. These are the matchups, Chris. We always talk about it.
No, we're past that.
Okay,
we're now past that.
Oh, we're past it. So you're going Padres?
I mean, we got like 2 runs off Gabriel Hughes the other day, some
True.
rookie from Gonzaga, so we're clearly past
Championship.
it. Yeah, we're clearly past it. 8.5 runs tonight, over under. They were way under last night with a 5. Probably likely to happen again. I'm going to go under. Nighttime baseball at Petco Park. Learn it, love it, live it.
I'm going to go over because the weather is going to be very warm, and the ball is going to be flying.
It's going to be carrying tonight, you say?
Let me just get the temperature for everybody out there.
It only carried once last night.
It did? It almost carried twice.
Oh, yeah, Fernando, hell of a catch.
Yeah,
huh?
That was pretty awesome, I got to say.
You know what, and it's, yeah. For him, that's, I mean, I'll be honest with you, that's going to be a little bit light work for him.
Like I thought the same thing because I was driving home
to the top of the wall and grabbed it, but for him it's light work. I'm just saying he makes better plays.
For him it is.
Right. It was still a very good play. Make no
very
mistake.
Important play too.
At the time, I would agree with you. Most important at bat last night, by the way, second inning, runners at first and second, nobody out. Campusano got ahead in the count, I think 3-1. One pitch away from bases loaded. And Campusano hit a ground ball hard, but right to the shortstop, double play. And so everybody boos, Campusano, you idiot. No, if that ball's over 1 foot, you know what I mean? It's a base hit. The rally's rolling. He hit the ball hard. You can't direct it necessarily like that. So
no, but I understand.
That was a big moment in the game.
Double plays are hard to handle for a second or two.
No, they're an RK.
They're what?
They're an RK.
What's that? Oh, Rally Killer.
Yes, for sure. All right, so you're over on this. I'm under on that. We got Luis Arise minus a half a hit versus Fernando Tatis Jr., who's the new Luis Arise.
It kind of is.
Sorry, that was mean. You're up.
So who has more hits, basically?
Yeah, but Arise is giving a half.
Oh, okay. On the spread, he's a half.
On the
hit.
spread. So a tie would go to Fernando here.
I gotta go with my guy. He's been
great.
great.
Go with Toddy.
I don't know what he had 1 hit last night.
The first pitch of the game, I think. Yeah. I'm going to go the Rise just because he rarely goes 0 for 2 games in a row. Very rare. Dylan Cease, I'll remember him. 9.5 strikeouts versus the Cardinals.
Cardinals are struggling.
Struggle sauce for the Cardinals. Cease blows them away. I say over. He doesn't even think about coming out to a game till he gets 10 Ks.
Yeah, I'm going to go over as well.
Yeah. See, I know that a lot of people think, oh, AJ's this, he's that, they're dumb, we're a cursed franchise. No. It's just bad luck. Yeah, Dylan Cease, you got a no-hitter out of him. You got one good year and one really subpar year.
He still made every one of his starts. So how much do we miss that right now? Yeah. We would take a Dylan Cease start in the last 2 months.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but if you combine that last year's slump with his poor performance in the postseason the year before against the Dodgers, that's the memory of Dylan Cease around here. Our memory of Dylan Cease is not the guy who started the All-Star game this year for Toronto.
I don't think I think he is caught up in the fact that he lost to the Dodgers on 3 days rest in the playoffs, and I think we attached that to him a little too much.
All right, here we go. We got 2 openers. We got Edgardo Hernandez opening for the Dodgers tonight. And we got the Bradley opening for the Padres tonight. Do the 2 openers end up throwing the exact same number of innings?
Oh, I was going to say pitches, but
no. So inning, like 1 inning for both, you say yes. If you think it could be different, you say no. You're up.
I got to look up Edgardo Hernandez real quick.
Well, he's an opener, so he's a reliever. He's not a starter. He's a reliever, just like Bradley. It's pretty much the same.
I don't see them. I'm going to say yes, they pitch 1 inning.
I'm going to go yes as well. I think that's a kind of a tricky wager.
Because they can go in, 1 1/3 or something.
Well, I think everybody, you look at it and you go, no, they're not going to go the same. And then you think about it and you go, yeah, they are. They're both going to go 1 inning. Makes sense. Tampa Bay against the Sox. Chicago White Sox. Tampa Bay is favored by $1.50 here. These have the best 2 records. Well, not the best 2 because the Yankees are ahead. But they would be the 1 and 2 seeds right now in the American League playoffs. Tampa Bay White Sox. And just remember, Tampa Bay 23rd highest payroll, White Sox 28th. When somebody argues that the baseball system is broke, that's the argument against it. These teams can't compete. Well, yeah, they can. They are. They're not having much problem.
They're
the 1 and 2 seeds in the playoffs.
I'm trying to say the reason the White Sox didn't spend is because they didn't have any idea that they're going to be in this position.
The bottom line is the system is not broke. I hate to tell you.
It's a little broke.
It's not. It's maybe not on equal footing.
Okay.
But you cannot tell me that you can't do well regardless of your circumstances.
Agree with that, but
okay.
The extreme spenders are a problem.
I'm going to take the Tampa Bay at home. Nick Martinez is pitching. I'm going to take Tampa Bay tonight over the Sox. But the Sox have been so good. So fun to root for them, I think, if you're just if you don't care about the American League like me. I mean, you're picking a team that with the worst record in the history of the league 2 years ago.
I know. That's why I love them so much.
I know. You taking them?
I'm going to.
All right. I think there's one WNBA, and then we'll get on out of here. And the Women's National Basketball Association.
Are you stalling because the internet is slow?
No, because I hadn't. Yeah, no, I hadn't. All right, this is a special $400 wager. Who scores more?
This is how the rich stay rich.
Yeah, that's right. Angel Reese is playing in a game against Seattle. Paige Beckers is playing against Washington. Points, it is Beckers minus 4.5.
Ooh, this is easy.
This seems easy, so I'm going to take Beckers. I bet you are too, right?
Me too, because Angel Reese doesn't score a lot of points. She
It
just gets
doesn't
a lot of
normally.
rebounds.
Surprisingly, Beckers' number is 21 and Reese's is 17. So that's why four, and I made it 4.5. All right. So we're both going to go with Beckers because we don't believe in the Angel Reese scoring machine.
True.
Which can be on display. She can be on display if she's getting some of them me bounds.
Yes, I was going to say. I mean, if she's getting me bound, she might be scoring a lot.
Angel Reese. It is pretty bad that the WNBA, the second and third biggest stars in the league, are the ones that they put a video out on this.
Well,
did you, by the way, see the WNBA statement once everybody started saying, "You guys are laughable. You're a joke."
I skimmed it, but I go ahead and explain.
Yeah, you know what? I'd almost rather have it in front of me, but it had something to do with, well, these kids should know better, and it also had something to do with, we meant it kind of as a joke. Too bad nobody got it. That was their whole thing. Like, they put that out as a joke, and I'm like, no, you're right. Nobody got it. Like, you missed it by 100 miles.
Do businesses and organizations, they literally think we're the dumbest people on earth? Because that is a crazy statement.
Can I just say what you don't want me to say? Ask the question again. Are we the dumbest people on earth?
Oh gosh,
the answer:
are we the dumbest people on earth?
Some of us are in that category, Skraby.
That's true.
They can get away with it with a lot of people. But not us. No, that's just a terrible explanation.
Terrible.
Which is what I would expect from
So, number one, they put it
league.
on their players.
Yeah.
And then number two, they said it was a joke.
And then, but it was just, we were just having fun. I can't believe nobody got it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right.
More Gwynn and Chris ahead. I think it's time for the
countdown.
By the way, with 5 spots in today's countdown, I have come up with none.
Whoa.
See what happens.
Wow. This is new because usually, I'll just say it, Tony's the one coming with none, but Chris always comes.
I didn't say that.
Chris always shows up and has his sheet ready to go. He wants his countdown topic at like 8 a.m.
I do.
Wow, this is great. Okay. I actually have all 5 of mine for once.
Really?
Yes.
All right, you may end up doing them by yourself.
Okay.
It's coming up.
Ben and Wood.
My question about Jackson Merrill, making plays all over the place this year. Last night, making plays all over the place. And I was trying to figure out online, and it didn't really give me an answer. What makes a platinum glover a platinum glover, and what makes a gold glover a gold glover?
I think it's voted on.
Ah, okay.
I think it's voted on by all of the. I think out of all of them, they all get votes. I think that's how my understanding is. And the winner of that vote, I think it's the fans that get to vote it too, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure though.
The fans get to choose the platinum glove?
Maybe it's not the fans. I know there's a vote for that portion of the platinum glove.
Do we think that Jackson Merrill is on pace for at least a gold glove this year?
That's so hard to say because you don't know. We see Jackson every day. I haven't seen Michael
Everybody
Harris
else every day.
Right, so of course I'm gonna say he seems like he is, but I don't know what the rest of these guys.
Yeah, he's made a lot of Gold Glove plays, I would say, this year, and I think we have to just be content with that, and then see where the Gold Glove takes you. You could go if you go through the history of the Gold Glove. It's a bit of an interesting study because what you see is guys getting the Gold Glove and then keeping the Gold Glove for years and years and years and years. Doesn't mean that they don't deserve it necessarily, but it's a very hard thing to actually determine, I feel. And I think there's a lot that goes to having already won it. Your dad won how many, Tony? 4, 5? 5. But it took a long time before he was in consideration for the first one, before people started to say, hey, wait a minute, this guy can play some right field now, and then he had the breakthrough. And then I think he just kept up playing good right field. I'm not saying he fell off, but it's like once you win one, you keep it. And so it's hard to get that first one, I've always felt. And, maybe Jackson can get that. So, but Tony's right. You haven't seen every other center fielder play every other position. I wonder how much the analytics and all of that stuff enter into it too.
Let me kind of fill some of the holes in this. It is no longer a popular award as it was in my dad's era. Maybe about 10 years ago, they started actually using metrics.
So they are using some of those metrics.
Yeah, this isn't. Yeah, this is how you started seeing actual dudes who were good defenders and didn't necessarily have, the offensive prowess that some of the other older versions used to get. These guys who are getting it now, they are having to lead in some of these categories and kind of determine it that way. So it's not like it used to be. So if Jackson, I think it's actually easier now for a guy like Jackson to break through, whereas in the past,
you might be
if there was whoever, name your center fielder, Mike Trout, right? If he was in the National League, it would be very hard to unseat him if he's still out here playing and healthy on a consistent basis. So I think Jackson actually has a chance, I think.
My question about Jackson Merrill, making plays all over the place this year. Last night, making plays all over the place. And I was trying to figure out online, and it didn't really give me an answer. What makes a platinum glover a platinum glover, and what makes a gold glover a gold glover?
I think it's voted on.
Ah, okay.
I think it's voted on by all of the – I think out of all of them, they all get votes. I think that's how my understanding is. And the winner of that vote, I think it's the fans that get to vote it too, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure though.
The fans get to choose the platinum glove?
Maybe it's not the fans. I know there's a vote for that portion of the platinum glove.
Do we think that Jackson Merrill is on pace for at least a gold glove this year?
That's so hard to say because you don't know. We see Jackson every day. I haven't seen, Michael
Everybody
Harris
else every day.
Right. So of course I'm gonna say, he seems like he is, but I don't know what the rest of these guys are.
Yeah, he's made a lot of gold glove plays, I would say, this year, and I think we have to just be content with that and then see where the gold glove takes you. You could go, if you go through the history of the gold glove, it's a bit of an interesting study because what you see is guys getting the gold glove and then keeping the gold glove for years and years and years and years. Doesn't mean that they don't deserve it necessarily, but it's a very hard thing to actually determine, I feel. And I think there's a lot that goes to having already won it. Your dad won how many, Tony? 4? 5? 5. But it took a long time before he was in consideration for the first one, before people started to say, hey, wait a minute, this guy can play some right field now, and then he had the breakthrough. And then I think he just kept up playing good right field. I'm not saying he fell off, but it's like once you win one, you keep it. And so it's hard to get that first one, I've always felt. And, maybe Jackson can get that. So, but Tony's right. You haven't seen every other center fielder play every other, position. I wonder how much the analytics and all of that stuff enter into it too.
Let me kind of fill some of the holes in this. It is no longer a popular award as it was in my dad's era. Maybe about 10 years ago, they started actually using metrics.
So they are using some of those metrics.
This is how you started seeing actual dudes who were good defenders and didn't necessarily have, the offensive prowess that some of the other older versions used to get. These guys who are getting it now, they are having to lead in some of these categories and kind of determine it that way. So it's not like it used to be. So if Jackson, I think it's actually easier now for a guy.
Countdown segment here. We did so without giving away the subject matter of the countdown today.
Okay.
All right. So you'll get that from us here shortly. Coming up on the program, we will have a chance for you to win one final pair of tickets to see Guns and it's not Guns and Roses, Skraby. Guns and Roses.
Yep. Where's the apostrophe in the Guns and Roses? Is that
after the N, I believe.
Let me look.
Look it up. Guns and Roses.
It is after the N.
Yeah, with Axl Rose and Saul Hudson.
Yes,
I believe,
Saul Hudson
fronting the band. If you were with us yesterday, Saul Hudson, the official name of the great guitarist Slash.
Yes, it is.
Saul Hudson, people. Doesn't sound quite as exciting there, does that?
It does not.
No. I used to toy around with a fake name for the radio.
What is it?
It wasn't great.
What is
but
it?
It was, well, the reason I did it is because I thought maybe I could be on the radio someday or a broadcaster.
Okay.
It was something I kind of aspired to be. So, and then I think everybody changed their name. At least radio DJs almost all did.
That's true.
I don't know about broadcasters. I assume Vin Scully was truly Vin Scully or people
Maybe
like that.
some of them, but
right. So I thought Chris Ello. The only thing that I wasn't ashamed of any of it. I thought that the last name is difficult to picture in your head. Like if you hear Ello, like if you've seen that written, you now know exactly how it's spelled. Okay, it's like, oh yeah, simple. Okay, but if you've not ever seen it, or you're just hearing it for the first time, I don't know that it forms a picture in your head.
I would have put a W at the end of it, like yellow without
You might
the
have,
Y.
yeah, that's right. So that's why I was going to just be Chris Gordon, which is my middle name, as you know by now.
Yes.
So I thought that would be just simpler so people could remember who I was. But I never did it.
You should have.
No. Oh, you don't. You're telling me now that the Chris Ello name is bothersome to you?
No, it's better to do your own name because then you don't have to change your name. But I know a couple people in radio.
I know. We had a lot of friends. For Lori worked in a lot of the stations around town, and all the DJs changed their names.
Yeah.
And they'd be like confusing to me, like you're getting mailed to some totally other person.
And you know what's funny about radio is when you meet these people, they introduce themselves as the radio. So I remember we had a guy named Sonic. Have no idea what his real name is.
They're not even sure what their real name is after a while.
His name to me is Sonic.
Yeah, right. They forget.
They do.
All right, let's get to today's countdown.
It's now time for Gwynn and Chris to rank their top 5 of the day.
Gonna grip and rip as usual.
But this isn't just a regular top 5 list.
I love it. It sounds sadistic, but I love it.
This is the countdown. And it starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
I'm going to let you take it, Skraby. It's your category today. So
all right.
I'll let you introduce it.
So the countdown today is going to be top 5 sports moments that changed our lives. Very dramatic, but at the same time, I think you'll understand. And these are not like super serious things. It's just things that I remember about from my childhood or from my adulthood about sports. Okay?
Number 5.
You want me to go first?
I do.
Okay. My first one is something that happened in 1997. I had just turned 12 years old. My family and I went to Las Vegas, or Lake Tahoe. While we were at Lake Tahoe, we were watching a boxing match, Chris. And I watched Mike Tyson bite Evander Holyfield's ear off.
You were there or watching it?
I was watching it on TV, but it freaked me out. I did not like it, and I will never forget the feeling that I had when I saw Mike Tyson go after Evander Holyfield's ear twice. Like that was it's ingrained in my mind. It changed my life.
I was going to say though, yes. In which way? I mean, how did it? Did it change your like?
Because I think about it all the time.
You know, okay, just it's on your mind.
It's on my mind. Like anytime I see Mike Tyson, I think about the video of him going in to bite Evander Holyfield's ear. It really bothered me. I did not like this. I even had nightmares about it, Chris. For some reason, it changed my life.
All right, good.
Good.
No, I mean, you survived.
Yes, I did survive. I'm over it now.
All right, my number 5 is going to be pretty weird. You're not going to even remember this even happening. It took place in 1972, and I would say the month was July. I'm trying to find a date, but I'm not getting it. It was a guy by the name of Mark Spitz. He won his 7th gold medal in swimming. He was the favorite. Right, and he did the whatever it was, the 100 and 200 freestyle, the 100 and 200 butterfly. He won the relay, he won the butterfly relay, and then he won the medley relay. So he won them all. He won them all in, record time. And I think it was like the first athlete that I got so excited about their accomplishment that like a poster went up on the wall. So I give Mark Spitz the credit for that. He was like the first poster guy.
I definitely
me.
know who he is, and I've heard a lot about him.
And the 1972 Olympics are famous for the wrong reason, unfortunately.
Is that the
That's the attack by on the Israeli athletes in Munich, Germany. And I don't know how this happened, but I still have a paper I wrote on the 1972 Summer Olympics.
Wow.
Sixth, 7th grade.
You got to bring this in.
Okay, I will. I mean, it's written in handwriting.
You got to
That's how
bring this
long
in. I'll
ago
scan
this
it.
is.
I'll scan it.
And I got an A. Like, it was that good. But
Okay.
Mark Spitz wins the 7 gold medals, and I think the combination of the athletes and what happened kind of, I mean, for a young person, understanding that sports was not all fun and games and that the real life was pretty serious stuff.
That's a good one.
So I'm going to go with that.
That's a good one.
All right.
I'm going to go
Number 4.
All right, this is very personal to me. There's 2 of them that are very personal to me. When Patrick Willis retired out of nowhere, Chris.
Oh.
He's my favorite football player. He's my favorite 49er. I love the guy. He retired at the height of his game. And it really hurt me because I knew I was never going to be able to play or watch him play football again. And
I thought it hurt you because you're never going to be able to play alongside of him.
No, well, that was the dream for a little bit, but I couldn't. Patrick Willis is just a great dude. He has a great story. He's now like a business leader. He's very smart. He grew up in a place in Mississippi, I think it was Mississippi, with no plumbing, so he's overcome a lot. But when Patrick Willis retired, Chris, I was very sad. It embarrassingly affected me.
Did you need to be consoled?
Yeah,
Like
embarrassingly affected
Waterworks?
me. There was a tear. There
Just
was a
one?
tear. Or 2.
Okay. Because I get tears all the time. I'm a tear person.
You're a tearer?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
All right, number 4 is going to be April 15th, Tax Day. Although I wasn't paying taxes in 1973. But I was listening. The game was obviously not televised. Listening to Chick Hearn call Game 7 of the NBA Western Conference semifinals. The Bulls versus the Lakers, believe it or not. Bulls had the lead by maybe 6 points with 2 minutes to go. You have to go back and check the archives. No 3-point shot in those days. This is over. The Bulls are beating the Lakers in Game 7 at the Forum. No, they're not. Jerry West saved the day. Somebody else saved the day. The Bulls turned it over 6 times in the last minute. Anyway, Lakers win. They go to the finals. And from that moment on, I felt so bad for the Bulls that I became a Bulls fan.
Wow, that's how it all started, huh?
With them blowing the game.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that they need some support. They need some help. So I rooted for them after that.
They're so happy that you did.
Yeah.
Number 3.
I'm not happy that I did.
I guess
save for the Jordan era, that's been pretty much agony other
that's
than that.
very true. My number 3, it's not going to be a specific moment, but if I need to name it, I'll say when Tiger Woods won his first major, because I was a massive fan. I was 12 years old in 1997. I was a massive fan of his, and he made me want to become a pro golfer. I made my parents take me to the range like every single day because I was dead set on being a pro golfer. But his golf changed my life. Definitely. A lot.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Number 3 for me is October 7th, 1984. That's a good year for Padre fans.
Yeah.
It was Game 5, Sunday afternoon. The night earlier, Mr. Garv had hit the home run to beat the Cubs, and there will be a tomorrow.
And there will be tomorrow.
And in that tomorrow, man, the Padres fell behind Rick Sutcliffe 3-0, and Sutcliffe didn't lose all year, but it was meant to be. And Tony got the hit. It bounced over the glove of Sandberg, broke the tie, and to be in this city and just experience something that has since then still only happened like 1 or 2 more times, which was total euphoria and everybody hugging everybody. Like, that hasn't happened in this city more than maybe that day and the day the Chargers qualified for the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So that was, it's just something amazing. What I do remember is people honking their horns all night, like 4 a.m, everybody driving, honked their horn. I don't think anybody cared.
Yeah, I mean,
Padres went to the World Series, so that was awesome.
Okay, so wait, I got to hit the button.
Number 2.
Where'd my dinger go?
But I don't know how it changed my life other than to say it's good to see that I guess you realize 100% that sports can be that.
Yes.
That
can change your life. Definitely.
And sports can do something that not a lot of things can do, which is put everybody on the same page for a couple of hours.
Yeah, I agree. My number 2 is actually going to be something similar, but it will be the Game 4 of the NLDS against the Dodgers when the Padres beat them in 2022. Because my job that day was to go and help Tony after the game if they won, and they were down the entire game. So I was just sitting there, and I was about to leave, and then they made the comeback, and then the rain started, and then the rally goose happened. It was just the video of the rally goose. Anyway, that was a fun night when I was leaving. About an hour and a half
sit next to each other?
No, we did not that game because they wouldn't let.
Oh, we couldn't all squeeze in there. Yeah.
But about an hour and a half after I left, after the game, maybe 2 hours, people were still celebrating in the streets, honking,
Absolutely.
hanging out at sunroofs. It was great.
Absolutely.
It was great.
Nobody wanted to go home that night.
It gives me chills, just like. That sort of community is awesome.
The rain added to it big time.
Blink 182.
What happened? What I remember is old the Reaper behind the plate, not the Reaper on the mound. What's the umpire's name who I like?
Oh, Tom Payne.
Tom Payne did the home plate.
Yeah,
he was all over that game. Just everything. It is cool when you are that locked into a game. Like, you're just sitting there on every pitch, and everyone in that stadium would say the same thing.
Oh.
For 4 hours. I don't know how long that game was. It could have been 4 hours. I wouldn't have cared.
No.
You were just so locked in.
It was crazy how, like, when they say you could feel the energy in here, like, that was a moment where I actually knew what they were talking about. Because everybody was feeling the same way about it.
All right.
Number 1.
Well, my number 2 real quick.
Oh, yeah, my
jump
bad.
past me. October 31st, Halloween, 1971. The day my dad took me to the Coliseum to see the Dolphins beat the Rams 20-14 as a visiting fan of the Dolphins. And unfortunately, since that day, been rooting for the Dolphins. So I guess it changed my life.
It did.
Yeah.
It definitely did.
Yeah, I sound pretty sad about it now.
My number 1, it's unfortunate. It is kind of ironic that I ended up doing sports radio in the city of San Diego, because my number 1 moment is when the 49ers won the Super Bowl in 1994. I was 9 years old.
You're not going to win a lot of support by telling this story
I know.
right now.
I was 9 years old, and I was hardcore 49er.
Of course you were, but that was a bleak day in these
I
these
understand,
parts.
and that's why I'm going to pass along to you.
My number 1 moment is the happiest moment of my life, except for marrying my wife, and I have to say that because if she was listening, she'd be mad. But as happy as marrying my wife was, this was right up there, and that was Lamont Butler's shot, and you know damn well what it was.
It did change your life.
The greatest thing I've ever seen.
It did change your life. That's a good one.
The reason also for it is not because they won, my alma mater won, but that's a big part of it. But it was the only time, I think, or one of the few times where I felt like, you know what, all the times I've sat here and watched sports or things, and I've said, you know, it never goes my way.
Yeah.
Finally,
yes,
it went
did.
my way. So.
David said watching Hoffy break the saves record. That's a pretty good one.
Okay.
But
there's some moments, individual stuff like that.
What about when they beat Alabama? It literally made you cry.
Yeah. That 2-week period, but I wasn't allowed. I wasn't allowed a 2-week period. I could only pick a moment, so I went with Butler because beating Creighton on the final free throw by Trammell was another great win. All 3 of those games.
It was
incredible.
Maria says the Joe Musgrove no hitter. So
there's
plenty of them out there.
All right, good stuff, everybody. Gwynn and Chris goes to Chris versus the fans next. 833-288-0973, and I think we're gonna have 2 winners today. Yes, we didn't have one yesterday.
I don't have enough questions. We're going to figure this out.
Skraby finagles it. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr. at Petco Park, Mr. Skraby. We're all here in the Odyssey Palace Studios and getting into some Chris vs. the Fans. Tonight, the Padres and the Giants. We do have a lineup, but we can probably hold off. At least there's nothing too drastic in there. But we'll get it to everybody shortly. But let's leave time to, play a good, solid game of trivia today. Skraby, what do you say?
Solid, maybe.
As I'm the defending champion of the
you
game
are.
Yesterday, nobody took me down.
Nobody did.
I shouldn't say it like that because today I know you guys will be lying in wait for me.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, so you're going to be playing for a qualification for the grand prize, a 2-night stay at Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, and a $150 food and beverage credit. The Oasis pool deck at Fontainebleau, Las Vegas has officially opened for the season, offering a 6-acre elevated pool experience with 6 distinct pools and Live Beach. Enter to win a 2-night stay at Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, and a $150 food and beverage credit. To book your stay, visit FontainebleauLasVegas.com now. The rules. You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player...
I didn't know what we were doing
I can't
today.
play that every single time. But
Yeah. All right, let's try it again.
I should have told you. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it, and you'll get that question for free today.
I have a quick question before we get to today's proceedings.
Yes, sir.
Do you know who Josh Fields is? Ring a bell in any way, shape, or form?
It does, but I don't know why.
Well,
maybe I'm thinking Justin Fields.
You might be. Yeah, this is not Justin Fields.
Okay.
This is a relief pitcher.
Then I
he
do not
pitched in
know.
Major League Baseball from 2013 through 2018, parts of 5 seasons. In those 5 seasons, he saved a grand total of 13 games with a 3.71 career ERA. Why do I bring him up?
Yeah, why do you bring him up?
Because we're heading into the trade deadline this weekend. And I think that I'm tired of the Dodgers getting away with the worst actual trade deadline deal ever made. We hear all of the ones from Lou Brock in the 60s. You can remember, people will tell you about Lou Brock going to the Cardinals. What a terrible trade. And there's been so many others. Juan Soto, the Padres still take some heat for acquiring him for all those players. And on it goes. I'll let you have whatever horrible trade you want out there at the trade deadline. I'll still take this one. The Dodgers acquired relief pitcher Josh Fields in August 1st, 2016 from the Houston Astros in exchange for a young prospect, Yordan Alvarez. Why don't we ever hear about that one?
Because it's illegal to say anything bad about the Dodgers.
Right? I mean, I'm talking the national media. They never mention this stuff. It's always the Padres are so dumb to trade, all those guys for Soto or, White Sox trading Tatis. I mean, you hear all of these things. Dodgers get a free pass for one of the worst moves ever. As it turned out.
They are kind of getting a free pass. I guess winning World Series and going to World Series helps you, but you are getting a free pass.
This guy's about to be the Triple Crown winner this year.
The problem is they don't care.
Well, the problem is they do care, but they can get away with blowing it.
That's a better way of saying it.
By just buying somebody else.
Yes. How's Kyle Tucker working out?
Terrible.
I know.
But you know what he's going to do in the playoffs? He's going to hit a couple of key home runs and win games.
Let's hope not, because I think he's, $60 million a year? That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's get to our first contestant for Chris versus the Fans. We shall go to Nate. Hello, Nate.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi,
Pretty
Nate.
good.
Welcome.
Are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. What 2 teams play NFL football at SoFi Stadium?
That would be the Chargers and the Rams.
That is correct.
Nate's off and rolling.
I should have asked it like this. What team pays rent to the other team to use their stadium?
This team pays the freight to play there.
Yes. All right, here we go. Question.
Sometimes our first question reminds, not every time, because the first one can be tough, but a lot of times it reminds me of the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Oh, yeah.
Where they get the $100 question,
Yeah.
right? Did you ever see the skit on Saturday Night Live where Will Ferrell was playing and he gets the $100 question and Regis turns to him and he goes, no, I'm good. I just don't know why that always has struck me as funny.
I've never seen it, but I'll have to
he
look
walks
it up.
off.
Yeah.
Happy with the 100.
It was always that is crazy. it was always so funny when someone would be so confident and then they would get it wrong. I love that show.
That's a good show.
Back in the real day.
Do you remember what happened? A little trivia. Sorry, Nate. Your radio time's extending
Chris versus
here.
the fans, and I'm guilty of this too, has become story time / trivia time.
Sometimes. Do you remember what happened the first time the person won the $1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
What do you
Something
mean by
cool
what happened?
Oh, something really cool happened. The very first time somebody was able to, it took like 6, 7, 8 months for somebody to actually go all the way.
I don't remember.
The guy had all of his lifelines left.
Brandon got it.
Brandon knew.
Yep.
Yeah. He called his dad, and Regis said, all right, this is it for the $1 million, all the drama. And the guy said, Dad, I just want to call you and tell him about to win $1 million.
I do remember this now.
That was cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was
that's
very
an
cool.
awesome way to win right there.
All right. Sorry, Nate. Go ahead.
All right, Nate.
All right.
Here we go. Question number 2. This team was just in town. Let me start that over. Who leads the Rockies in home runs hit this year?
I believe it's Goodman.
Goodman.
He's there.
Is correct.
Wait a minute. Multiple choice. Hunter or Drew?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Hunter Goodman.
Hunter Goodman, yes.
All right. Third and final question
Future
here.
Yankee.
For future Yankee.
Probably, yeah. If they want him, they'll get him.
What is the only country to have hosted the World Cup 3 times?
Oh.
I even know hosted it once, twice, 3 times.
It's gotta be England.
Say it again.
It's gotta be England.
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 Stay there.
old.
Stay there.
That's pretty tough. I mean, you're talking about hosting the event. Well, I'm going to rule out the United States because I'm pretty sure in '84 that was the first time, or '94 is the first time. So we got 2. I'm going to rule out Qatar or Qatar.
Okay.
But now I'm trying to think where else they've even had this thing. I don't know why France is jumping into my head.
That's your answer?
It is.
France.
Francais.
Oh, you're the winner, Nate! Actually, this country just became the only country to have hosted it the 3rd time. Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that surprising?
You trickered me there.
Isn't that surprising?
You tricked me, Mr. Skraby. Very
Isn't
good.
that surprising?
Mexico.
Yes.
Okay.
So there you go. All right, Nate.
Well, that's
stay
good
right
news for
there.
you, Nate. You cashed in on a big victory today.
I know Chris said we were going to do 2, but
we're not.
I pulled the plug on that.
You
because
pulled the plug on that
I
idea.
don't have enough, but we still do have Guns N' Roses tickets to give away. So
We're going to do
stay
that.
tuned for that.
Stick around. In fact, yeah, I was going to do it now, but
I thought I saw
I'm
you
not
pull
ready.
the trigger.
I'm not ready.
I saw you pull the trigger.
I'm really not ready.
Do you like the? I know we have a minute, so this is why I'm saying this. But the Blue Jays City Connector uniforms are all black.
I don't
with,
like any
dark
team,
blue.
I don't like any team that. I'm serious. I don't like any team, the Blue Jays in this case. I don't like any team that doesn't have black in their uniform color that then wears black.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't think you're allowed.
It's like in the World Cup when Spain or Canada was wearing black. They have no black in their
Duke
colors.
is one of those. Duke.
That's true.
You're blue. You don't get to just wear black because you want to sell a jersey.
What
no,
about Arizona Cardinals? They have those alternate black jerseys now.
Yeah, Dolphins wore black. Remember in the Monday night last year?
49ers have worn black.
Yeah.
I actually
49ers
like those black
can
uniforms.
almost get there because I think the 49ers colors are red, kind of gold, and maybe some black trim. But I'm talking like when you have no black and now you're going with the black jersey, I don't care. I don't think that should be legal.
I kind of agree with you.
I'm down on even if I liked the Blue Jays unis they're wearing tonight, I would dismiss them. Speaking of uniforms, did you hear the controversy in Buffalo?
Because of the
oh my God, they're blowing up the
released?
whole. They may blow up the Bills facility, and the ownership, the Pagula family, is under attack
because they don't like them.
The people hate them.
They're pretty bad.
What do they call them? The Nickelback jerseys or something? They're gray.
You can't call it Nickelback.
Not
either.
Nickelback. Sorry, Nickel something.
Yeah, I know it's Nickel. It is Nickel something.
So if you haven't seen them, I'm sure you could find them online. They're all gray, but they're the new Buffalo Bills. I guess for lack of a better term, City Connect. What do they call them in the NFL?
Yeah, they're City Connect.
No, they don't.
No, they're called the Color Rush or something.
Yeah,
or,
no.
Rivalry
uniform. Yeah. So Buffalo comes up with these new unis. They debut them 2 days ago. People are like they're attacking the Buffalo Bills headquarters. Like they're not that bad. That you should lose your mind over it.
The actual uniforms aren't bad, but the helmet is stupid.
I'll give you that.
The helmet has
bad.
like, you know how the bill has the red behind them? Well, they don't have a bill. They just have the red.
Just have the red stripe.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, though, at his press conference after practice yesterday, after they were all done asking questions, Josh Allen said, "Before I leave, enough with the hating of the uniforms."
Oh, come on, Josh.
No, he was defensive. He defended them.
Did he design them or something?
Well, he didn't like the heat they were taking for the unis.
Well, that is a smart play for the team to be like, "Hey, Josh, can you go out there and tell everybody that they're actually kind of cool?"
One thing I'll say for Josh, whether he's right or wrong, he said, "Look, it's a new era of Bills football. We're moving into a new stadium. Nothing wrong with a little update and something new in the uniform."
No, I have no problems with new uniforms.
You just didn't like them.
They're just the gray's fine. It's the helmet that bothers
Helmet
me.
bugs you.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be the number one. I'm asking you a tough question off the top. If you could eliminate for good any NFL uniform, like you never have to see it again, can you think of one that jumps out? And no fair saying like the Cowboys because you're a 49er fan.
No.
I'm talking about a uniform that's really ugly and should just not be worn. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Or should I give you till after the break?
Let's go to after the break.
Coming up with that next on Gwynn and Chris. Tony,
much
you care
more.
to,
Tony, I don't know where Tony went.
Because Tony,
I see the corner of his room.
Oh, well, hopefully he'll be back shortly. Harbaugh.
I'm not sure where he went. I might text him to see if he's okay here in a second.
Hope he didn't. Yeah.
Did you think he fell in the shower or
Well, I hope he
something?
didn't meet with foul play.
You think he met with foul play in our commercial break?
I don't know.
I mean, he is in New York City. So.
He's in New York City. It could be, you never know.
All right, we'll just go forward.
We're just going to go forward without Tony. I'm sure he'll rejoin us when he gets a moment.
Everybody stare at that box in the top right corner because it's just the corner of his room.
I'm going to look now. I'm kind of intrigued.
Oh, someone says maybe he's in the bathroom. I don't know.
He's been known to go there. As have all of us, frankly, but him more than most.
Over under, Tony just forgot that he was doing the show.
That's not nice. Out, so maybe that's what they're thinking.
You know what just hit me, Chris?
No.
What if Tony went out to get like ice or something and he forgot his room key?
That is something
Very
that
well
he
possible.
is more than capable of doing.
Because he would never be gone this late, this long, with knowing that he was on the show.
No kidding, man. We took a commercial break like 5 minutes ago, and he has not returned.
I'm going to text him.
Like, are you out in the hall trying to get into your room
Say,
right now?
Everything okay?
Oh, no. This
Question
is
mark.
scaring me. No. Did you hear back from Tony yet?
No, I'm thinking
something.
I'm thinking he locked himself out. He doesn't have his phone because it's in the room, so he's down at the front desk or something. I
don't know. I'm sure there's a story in here somewhere.
There's
when we get
definitely
him
got to
back on
be
the
a
air.
story. Anyway. I was very concerned about Tony, and I took him off the screen because he's not back. I guarantee you he got locked out of his room.
I don't think you're wrong, because that makes sense. But how far away is the lobby? Of course, the New York hotel, it could be one of those ones where you got to wait a while to get up to the...
And he's just sitting lying. I don't know why I find this so funny, but it is.
Well, it's funny if
me.
it's funny if he comes back with a funny story.
Yeah, like
it's
I locked
not
myself
funny.
out.
It's not funny if he fell and hit his head somewhere
Well,
and we don't know where he is. That's not funny.
Of course, that's not funny.
He's obviously not with his phone because he hasn't gotten back to us.
Has Tony locked himself out before? Not during the show, but I'm sure he has at one point in his life.
Of all people, Tony would certainly seem to be one who would do it.
Oh, August also says, Clinton said, got to use the key card for the elevator too. So maybe he's just stuck.
Can't even get down? No, you don't need the key card to go down.
Okay.
You only need those to go up. You should be able to get down to the lobby to say, hey, I locked myself out in New York City. But if we do, can you go to the Padre Hotel and knock on Tony's door? We don't know where he is still.
No.
Still hasn't come back.
And I turned on
It's been 20 minutes now.
I know. Now I'm starting to get a little worried.
Yeah. Where'd he go?
What
happened?
I don't know. I would call the front desk of the hotel, but I have no idea where they're staying.
I don't know where they're staying either. And when you sent him a text and said, is everything all right? We have not heard back from him. He is still not back in his room.
I bet you he is standing in line in the lobby as we speak.
I'm trying to get his key back.
Someone said text Jesse or Dave. And
it's really not a bad idea. Maybe at the next break, though.
Yes.
If we get to the next break, we got to text those guys so that they can go make sure he's okay. Because I don't know where he is. It's crazy.
Dave Marcus is probably the one to text.
We'll text Dave.
Because he's, Jesse could be doing anything, but Dave's always there ready to go.
You're trying to say Dave has a ho-hum life and he'd just be sitting around waiting for a text, whereas Jesse might be busy? Is that what you're...
I mean, Dave's been doing this job for like 30 years. I don't think the what is the word I'm looking for? Never mind.
All right. Well, there's certainly an explanation, but we don't have it yet.
Text Scan. I don't know Scan well enough to text him.
We're going to text Dave if this gets to the top of the hour, and we still don't have a Tony Gwynn Jr. sighting. All right, do we just go to traffic like it's normal behavior time? I mean, it just seems weird.
We got to move on with the show.
Show must go on?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, we're going to do the good, the bad, and the really, really weird and ugly next here after traffic. All right, it's with less enthusiasm than usual that we embark on the good, the bad, and the ugly for week 2, Skrabe.
I'm going to try not to worry too much.
I'm going to try not to worry also. I'm not necessarily the worrying type.
I'm not either.
But, I'm intrigued now at this point. Like it's with this long pass to Devontae Smith.
He's back!
Helped put him there.
Hold on, he's back, everybody!
Stop everything.
I literally, we went to commercial break. I laid on the bed, and then I just fell asleep.
He's back! I never even considered it!
Tony, you care to,
Tony, I don't know where Tony went.
Because Tony
I see the corner of his room.
Oh, well, hopefully he'll be back shortly. Harbaugh. Skraby has been thinking about it. I had already thought about it, and I did not change my mind during the break. The ugliest uniforms in the National Football League. I should have also, because you brought this up during the break, I should have put in there that none of those 1930 throwback ones.
We're talking current uniforms.
Yeah, the Steelers, the Packers wear those sometimes. They really aren't great.
Yeah.
But I get at least what they're doing. It's from a whole nother era and time.
Yeah.
So those are not included. I'll tell you my winner and Skraby's in a minute. But I'm looking at a list here, Skrabe, of the 5 greatest twist endings in movie history.
Oh.
I don't want you to give any of them away if you've seen the movie.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people like movies that have a really cool twist at the end that nobody sees coming, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
So I'm gonna give you the list out there. This may be one where you've seen all 5, and but maybe you want to rewatch one of these, or maybe there's one of these you haven't seen and you didn't know that it had a great twist, and maybe you want to watch it. And so here we go. Number 5 is a movie called Primal Fear. Richard Gere is the lawyer. Edward Norton is the inmate.
I've seen this a long time ago, but it's great.
Yeah. First of all, Edward Norton can act like nobody's business in my mind. I think he's that good. Primal Fear has a pretty good ending, I think. Not to the level of the next 4, though.
Okay.
Number 4 is called... I don't really get this one because I didn't like it. The Wizard of Oz. Now, this is back in the day, and of course, she wakes up as a dream. That's like too easy.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry. I know.
Whoa.
Sorry,
You were the one who said you didn't want no spoilers.
I know. I just spoiled it. Sorry.
I thought that was all real.
You thought it was all real. Number 3, I think a lot of people, no question, in on this is a great ending. The Usual Suspects.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Highly recommend. Back when Kevin Spacey
was an actor.
When Kevin Spacey was not basically blackballed from Hollywood.
Yep.
That's quite the movie. Number 2 would be my vote for the greatest twist ending ever in movie history. I've never been more surprised than I was at the end of The Sixth Sense.
That's a pretty good twist.
But the number 1 they chose, The Planet of the Apes.
I've actually never seen it.
I think you
I know of it.
I think you could try it, and you tell me whether you think it's an amazing twist ending or not.
Okay.
So
the original one, like 70s?
Yeah, original. Charlton Heston, 1968 or 9.
I wouldn't mind
something.
watching that because I like those types
You like
of
that
movies.
kind of stuff?
Yeah. But they said that was the biggest.
That's their number 1 choice here.
Oh man, you mentioned one to me in the
Fight
break.
Club's another one.
Fight Club is
I
think
the outside of the 5, but right there. Yeah.
Yeah, Fight Club has one of the best twists.
Okay.
Someone said Shutter Island. I could not.
I couldn't get through that one. I remember it, Leo.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was so excited for it. I don't know why.
They don't all work, but people have their own. That's the great part about a movie, man. Movies are on your list, man. It's your list, not everybody else's list.
If you have movies, your favorite movies with a twist, put them in the chat.
Yeah, this is not my list, by the way. This is.
You can go to YouTube
because I said if it was my list, Sixth Sense is the movie that surprised me more than any other movie I've ever seen.
And the best part, without giving anything away, the best part about The Sixth Sense is you could rewatch the movie after you know what happens, and you pay attention for these
and you
things
would like
throughout
it
the
almost
movie.
better the next
and you're
time.
like the directing, just even thinking about some of these things is incredible.
That movie was a curse for M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, he never was able to make a better
because he
one.
never came close to it again. But it was so good that I probably watched his next 5 movies hoping that he'd hit one.
Let me see
but he never did.
Let's talk about M. Night Shyamalan movies and what he's done
since.
Yeah, because it's not been great, I'm sure.
No, it's been terrible. Signs was one with Mel Gibson. It was
that's
all
a
right.
controversial one.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
a
know.
fan of it.
Yeah.
He's got the Village.
Yeah, no good, really.
Lady in the Water.
No good.
This recent one, Knock at the Cabin, was entertaining, but not great. Yeah.
No,
anyway.
he never. I mean, Sixth Sense is a masterpiece, so much so that he just couldn't keep up with it. Couldn't do it.
Unbreakable was pretty good.
You know what? That was his next one, and that one was actually okay.
That was really
I could
good.
watch that one.
Yeah. Split was also pretty good.
I'm going to say The Sixth Sense. I almost would watch The Sixth Sense again tomorrow to see if I missed anything last time.
Okay.
That's how good it is.
Yeah.
All right, let me hear you. Skraby, what do you got for your worst uniform in the NFL? Then I think whatever yours is, I'm going to top it.
Okay, so we're talking current uniforms.
Current uniforms worn in the National Football League.
People are
so
going to
you have to tell me if it's the home or the white or the whatever it is.
These are going to be the homes.
The home uniform of?
Well, I have 2. Or I have 2. I have 3.
It's not really legal. You got to pick one. I'll let you pick the other. I'll let you say the other 2, but only after the number 1s are revealed.
I cannot stand the Steelers uniforms.
The home black and yellow ones?
I do not
Really?
like them. I think they're so boring. I think that they need to redesign those somehow. I know everybody's going to disagree with me on that one.
Everybody, there must be some.
I don't know. There's a couple Steelers fans here.
Can I ask you? Since I'm assuming with the Steelers home uniform, you don't like is it's kind of dull in your mind,
It's
black,
dull.
and with the gold pants, and
Yeah.
just the color
Yeah.
combo doesn't work. Okay,
It's just boring.
what's different about that than say the Raiders, which are black but just silver pants instead of gold pants?
Because I like the Raiders colors better than
You
I
like
like
that
the
color
I don't.
better.
I'm not a fan of the combination of black and yellow.
Black and yellow, black and yellow. Isn't that a song?
It is.
Okay.
Black and
You know
yellow,
why I
black
know
and
it's a
yellow.
song?
Why?
Not because I have the CD. I believe they played it in a spin class one time I was in, and I remember
I'm
it.
sure they did, actually.
Yeah, it's a good spin class.
Before you say yours, my honorable mention.
All right.
Colts. Boring.
Home blue or white or either one or just
Either
don't
one.
like
Just boring.
Okay.
And then the third one is a hater pick, but I can't stand the Chiefs uniforms. They're so boring, too.
Chiefs you find boring.
Yeah.
All right, I think I can beat them all, but I think you're going to say that I'm cheating.
Okay.
Because I'm not going with I'm going with more of a alternate. But
we just said normal uniforms.
No, I said no 1930s style uniforms. I'll give you another pick if you think you've got another
well, then
one.
I already got one. The Seahawks green
Me too!
highlighters,
That's
like
what I was
the
after.
jersey and the pants.
The lime puke-colored Seahawks. Stop it!
Gross.
Stop it!
Gross.
Yeah. Okay. So we both came to the same conclusion. Then
Also,
in the
these
end.
uniforms I'm looking at, the Jaguars uniforms, where they had a two-toned helmet where the back was gold and the front was black.
Yeah, they finally gave that up.
Yeah, not a good look.
Those are not good.
Not a good look. But
Why did that pop up? You were looking up pictures of ugly uniforms?
Yeah, I typed in least favorite uniforms in the NFL.
And I know that this is my homer pick, but I'll be honest with you. One of the reasons I did love the Dolphins is that aqua color has worked for me forever.
Yeah.
Maybe some people not, but I've always liked it.
See, I like the Dolphins because I like the colors. If I don't like the color
colors are
combination,
good.
then
Yeah.
I don't like the uniform.
Yeah, they got good colors. Terrible the people in those colors, but the colors are good. All right, let's go Big Five. We've got a good one, as we did yesterday. Tony's in on it. It's next. All right, so here's what happened. I was at the corner, and I'm going to call out the streets because who cares? It was Claremont Mesa Drive and Ruffin Road, which is pretty close to our radio station here.
Yeah.
I had to run over and pick up a little cash from the bank. That was a simple, trip before I came into work. And I'm on Ruffin Road, coming up to Claremont Mesa Boulevard.
Ruffin Road can be a little rough sometimes.
They could pave that. It wouldn't hurt. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt if they can't call it paved road. I know that.
Wait, your issue isn't the potholes in the road?
No, that was I'm used to that. So we come up on Claremont Mesa, and we're at the stoplight. I'm in the left-hand turn lane to turn left on Claremont Mesa. I'm the third car back. And there's two left turn lanes. There's 3 cars in line here. And then the going straight is also red. And that is backed up each of the lanes. So that I've got cars on my right. I've got cars on my left. I got 2 in front of me. I got people behind me. No big deal. Light cycles through. And our turn doesn't come.
Oh, no.
So the cross traffic gets to go again. And then the people coming across in our direction, they get to go again. And then for a second time, they skip our turn. Well, that's what I thought. So now...
Actually, you're not going anywhere. You're stuck.
Right, you're stuck.
You're not going anywhere.
And my first thought, of course, as a good scout or, athlete, is to look around. Is there any way out? Can I back up? Can I, I'll do anything. But there is nowhere for me to go.
No.
It happens a third time.
Whoa.
And I'm pretty clear at this point, this light's broken. And I'm starting to think, how are we going to get out of this? Am I going to have to call, the police to come and fix it? No one's going to know it's broken.
911 emergency response.
Yeah.
Emergency. Ruffin Road in Claremont. The light is stuck.
The light is stuck. And so this is 5 minutes probably, but you can imagine 5 minutes.
No,
that's a long
That's a
time,
long
right?
time.
Well, when it comes to the 4th time, I finally start just leaning on my horn.
Oh.
I'm trying to get...
What are the people in front of you going to do?
Well, because there was a moment, right, after the traffic comes this way, It paused.
You want them to run the light.
You could at least a couple people could run the light. We could get this going here.
You want them to run the light.
I did.
Break the law.
Well, they had to. Otherwise, we'd still be there. Anyway, so this is going on. So I'm starting leaning on my horn. The lady next to me looks at me like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Good for her. Good for her.
And good for her. Yeah.
Kidding.
I'm like,
just
ma'am,
kidding.
are you just clueless? Were you going to sit here the rest of your life?
She has faith that the light's going to turn eventually.
Evidently so. If it had gone again, the guy next to me on this side rolled down his passenger window. That starts to go down. I think he's going to be mad. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure the light's broken. Like, how do you not know this? We've all been sitting here for 6-7 minutes now. The two cars at the very front of the left turn lane are not budging. So they apparently are content to sit there for as long as it need be.
They also have faith that the light is going to turn.
But I have no faith.
What gives them that faith?
Yeah, but what gave them the faith? I mean, it had cycled through 4 times now. The 5th time, I was going to just have to get out of my car and walk up to that and go, will you please do something? Or get, and if you don't, and I would have,
something.
You know what I would have said? If you don't want to run the light, just get out of my way so I can run the light. I'm not sitting here the rest of the day. And finally, on the 5th time, the first 2 people ran the light, and the next person was able to get you know what I mean? And after a couple more cycles through, I got out of there. But I don't know.
Did the light ever start working?
I don't know. If you're at Claremont Mason Ruffin Road, you might still be there. I don't know. This was 45 minutes ago or so.
Wow.
So my question to you is, how differently would you have handled this than I did? And I'll start with you, Tony. Would there have been any difference, or do you know?
I don't know if I would have laid on my horn.
You would have just never laid on it.
I think I might have maybe rolled down the window, see if I could talk to somebody, see what else.
See if anybody else was in on it?
I don't think I would have laid on my horn because, listen, what you're asking is for them to, which may not be easy for everybody, and that is the timing between.
4:33 is the time, by the way, just so we're on equal footing here, Skraby. Both of us agreeing wholeheartedly the Seahawk lime green disasters are the ugliest uniforms in the NFL. Sports Illustrated, real quick, came out with its list of the top 10 uniforms in the NFL. You would be pretty fired up to know the Niners were number 2 on their list.
They liked
biased,
them, but I do like the red and gold.
Well, they liked the Niners. They got in there number 2. And the reason I said that is because I'm forgetting. Chargers. Chargers number 1.
The current Chargers.
Yeah, the current light blue. People love those. Chargers are number 1 in that list.
Thanks, Dean, for all the years that people begged you to have powder blue
no
uniforms.
kidding. We wanted them here, and they would. Oh no, we got to have dark blue because of our Greek heritage. That's exactly what they said.
Really?
Yes.
And then they just gave it up?
Ask anybody. Apparently, their Greek heritage doesn't matter anymore because they went to the light blue. You're absolutely. I guarantee you everything I'm worth.
That is crazy.
Because we talked about it endlessly back in the 90s. Why won't we go back to the powder blues? Everyone loves them. We can't do
Greek heritage.
Spanos, it's all about the Greek heritage. I guarantee. I'm telling you, Skraby. That's it for sure.
Isn't it like a light blue kind of? I know that.
No, Greece's flag is dark blue.
That's blue.
Well, but you know what I mean. That was their reason. I'm telling you, that was their reason.
Well, that's dumb because you know what? They could have easily pulled in a ton of money by just changing the color of the uniforms and have everybody buy them, which they would have. That's craziness.
Well, the point being is that's what kept us from enjoying the powder blues here, but apparently not keeping anyone in L.A. from enjoying them.
Seriously.
Here's the Big Five.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell
cares? The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
97.3 The Fan's trade deadline on Monday, and our coverage is presented by City Cruises Live. Experiences done different. We talked about it a little bit earlier, briefly. Freddie Peralta scratched, so maybe we got some movement in the trade market going on here. We'll see, but we'll get into what the Padres are looking at, because we all know that Joe Musgrove and Nick Pivetta are pretty important to their trade plans, and they both threw the equivalent of 2 innings against hitters on Wednesday, in Arizona, and then returned to San Diego, where they are scheduled to throw a bullpen over the weekend. The next step is likely a rehab start on Tuesday, Kevin Acee is saying. So let's say they do come back, Chris. What are the realistic expectations?
Well, if they come back, they're going to have to come back and pitch well. And, be part of it. I don't think you can bring them back and say, well, you're going to throw 2 innings here or 3 innings there. And, we don't care if you win a game, right? If they come back, they're going to have to help us win the division. And they're going to have to pitch 5-6 innings, at the beginning. And if they can stretch it out, in September. These are all really good positive signs that perhaps, the Padres are closer to getting them. And I think the expectations have to be that they have to be them, because if they're not them, then the Padres just have, 2 more guys that are unreliable.
Yeah.
So, I would say that it's,
to be a starter.
Yeah, be their guy, be them.
Tony, what are the realistic expectations for these guys?
I think initially they'll have to buy time, right? None of them are going to be built up. So, unless they're going to take the proper time in the minor leagues with the amount of starts. Otherwise, 3, however many starts it takes at the beginning of the season before it gets to a point where they're beyond being able to go at 5. Being able to go 5 innings, I think initially you're not going to be able to have the expectation. But at some point, yes, you do expect that they will be able to get deeper into ball games and therefore be closer to themselves.
Do you think, Tony, that if rather than, because the way the Padres are doing their pitching right now is different, right, than they've ever done or almost any team has ever done. Do you think the Padres would consider bringing Pivetta and Musgrove to the big league roster to pitch a couple of piggyback games here? Go 2 innings here rather than pitch 4 innings in the minor leagues 3 times. Do you think they would consider it or no?
I think they would consider it, but I think that would be up to the players as well. Do you want to put yourself out at this level if you're not actually ready, just for the sake of, kind of getting innings where it could actually cost your team meaningful games? I don't know. It would depend. I think it would certainly be up for consideration, but I think the players themselves would have a large say in whether, they were comfortable with that.
All right, well, we'll see what happens with them. But it's nice that we're talking about them coming back rather than what are we going to do the rest of the year.
We haven't even mentioned this for 2.5, 3 months, so this is good.
It's nice.
Number 4.
All right, according to City Council President Jamie Dunphy, the gap between Portland and the Trailblazers over a Moda Center renovation funding deal is, quote, pretty significant. Last night, team leadership made their first public appearance before the city council, and in a nearly hour-long presentation, they called the city's proposal term sheet as a quote-unquote non-starter and detailed their biggest concerns, which are basically you pay for everything. And yes, I am making the billionaire look like the bad guy here, but it's you pay for a lot of the stuff and we'll capitalize on it. So, Tony, some speculate.
Wait. Is that what it says?
He doesn't want to pay for the renovations. He doesn't.
Okay, and so it also says we don't want to pay for it and we want to not give you anything on the back end? Is that
not
also
anything?
what is
But they want profits off of games and things like that. So just normal stuff that NBA teams would probably get from the city and the arena that they play in.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Okay,
That's okay. That's okay. Some speculate.
By
that...
the way, the owner is demanding that each city council member give away their second-born child.
Oh well,
let's be accurate here, Skraby. If you're going to make the owner of the Trailblazers out to be a total hooligan, let's be fair to the guy here.
I think he's hooligan-esque right now.
Okay, all right.
Because some speculate the team is intentionally being difficult to either get exactly what they want or relocate and get exactly what they want in another city. Tony.
Yes, Tony. Yeah.
Do you think there is an intention to sabotage so they can move?
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Thank
sure.
you. Chris? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure there could be. I mean, we don't know. I feel like how often is a negotiation just so beautifully done and there's no complaints.
Literally never.
Especially these type of negotiations.
Oh, yeah.
There's always some type of, well, they said this and they said that and they don't want to do this. I think it's kind of all in the eyes of the beholder, and I think it's kind of part of all of this. Now, that being said, we know from other incidents that this Portland Trailblazer owner certainly is watching his pockets. He is not out here trying to just spend to spend. So this isn't a surprise to me. We'll see how this ends up. It's a two-way street, and Chris has brought this up many times. Yes, you'd like to have owners that can actually afford to have the team and do all the things necessary. But the city, it's a partnership. It's a kind of a two-way deal. And, I think, sometimes, especially nowadays, we often just look at the team and like, oh my gosh, the city's got to also do some of the things as well. So we'll see how this one plays out. I think this is just kind of typical negotiation
Posturing.
Tactics. Yes.
He did actually cut out the white T-shirts that teams give out to fans when they make the playoffs. He said, "No, that's going to save us like $1 million, so we're not going to do that."
He's like, "I'm not doing it." Sorry.
Yeah. Chris, do you think there's an intention to sabotage here?
Okay, now let's talk about the owner from a real standpoint instead of a slanted Skraby
What are you
standpoint.
talking about?
Well, because you're making him out to be a cheapskate, terrible owner who happens to have spent enough money apparently to currently own the Stanley Cup. All right, he's the same owner of the Charlotte Hurricanes. So the guy isn't,
Carolina.
Well, look, I mean, I'm just saying maybe he's doing it in a little different way, but he's having some success there. First of all, second of all, what is happening in Portland? Gee, I don't know. Does it sound familiar? Owner wants the city to do everything. City says no. Owner says, okay, there's plenty of places we'll do everything.
It sounds like San Diego.
Yes, it does.
Sounds like San Diego, Chris.
Yes, it does. So what is Tony saying? He's saying the truth. If the city of Portland wants to keep their basketball team, the price of poker has gone up to that level now, guys. The city is going to have to ante something up. I mean, unless you just get lucky with an owner who is so much money and just honestly wants to
or loves the city,
and even those guys. I know that Denver, they're building a new football stadium, supposed to be ready in 2031, state of the art, with the dome and everything, so Denver can start getting it on the Super Bowl. But that's all being paid for by the guy who owns it. They're all the Walmart people there in Denver. They have more money than anybody. However, he might be paying for it all, but on the other end of the side, the city's going to be giving away the house or the farm or whatever it is.
All right, here's what the city's offered.
Okay.
City offered a 20-year agreement that he won't move the team, a requirement for
labor. This is what the city's offering,
yes,
correct?
A requirement for the labor peace agreement, financial protections like caps on public funding, limits on expenses, blah, blah, blah.
This is Portland?
This is Portland offering to the owner a $3 million annual payment for property tax offset payment from RIP City Management. And then...
So they wouldn't have to pay that? Is that what it means, offset payment?
Yeah, basically just to pay for the property taxes. This is where I get a little confused. But the last one would be requirements for community event access, local hiring, sustainability, partnerships with local groups.
All of that stuff is just gobbledygook to me and to almost everybody
What are
who
you
heard
talking about?
it.
I think that's
You can't explain any of it.
that's not a non-starter.
But
What I'm saying is,
that,
I'm just saying, if you got to contribute if you want to keep your team, and I think that's what Tony's saying.
I agree. Tony?
right. And I'm not, and that we don't know. Like, yes, it seems like a lot of things that the city is offering up, and they want an agreement to. I don't know where the start line is on any of that. So it is just, as Chris said, it's a bunch of gobbledygook. Until we figure it out.
Do you guys like? Okay, here's my last thing on
Here's
this.
wait, can I say
Yes,
this real quick?
yes,
And this is the danger of being careful what you wish for, right? The other side of the coin in terms of owners being able to own teams is you do get the whole hedge fund thing that you're not particularly thrilled about.
Oh, me.
Yes,
you. Private investment groups, yes.
Private investment groups, right? And so, like, when a owner can't own a team, they start trying to move, and these are some of the other folks that can. Now, there are the bad things that come along with the private equity side of things. So, like, you know, in a perfect world, you get these owners that all can own and can afford it and would foot the bill for their own stadium, and it'd be – but it's a give and take, and I think it's like that and everything. And the tough part is, if your city doesn't want to do it, guess what?
That's
There's
why
another
the
city.
owners they hold all the cards.
There's another city. It'd be if the cities got together and be like, you know, we're going to band together. We're not going to do this. We're not going to take on. Of course, they're not going to do that. They want what's best for their cities. And if a football team is willing to come there and they know that it's going to be lucrative for their city, they're going to throw whatever other city that team's coming from right under the bus.
All right, last thing. Do you guys think if the city says, all right, we'll pay for the upgrades on this stadium, we'll pay for the renovations, but you have to sign an agreement that you can't leave for 20 years. Do you think that's fair? Because I do. This guy seems like the type of guy, even though I don't know him, that will get the upgrades and then be like, peace out.
Did you hear that, Chris? This guy seems like the type of guy,
even though I
don't know him.
Do you think that an agreement to stay would be fair?
All right, let me say this. That would be actually less fair than a city offering to buy out every ticket the Blazers have from now until the end of time. You say you call it a ticket guarantee, and the Blazers agree to stay for 25 years. Because, again, that's what happened here, and that did not create any goodwill at all.
That's true.
And that was part of the reason they ended up leaving. Portland may lose its team, but they won't be the only ones. This is going to happen more and more now, I think, because greed is winning.
Listen. There was a time where these leagues felt a certain way about the city. They didn't.
Yes.
They would push back like, hell no, you're not leaving that city.
Yes.
This is, but because of the way you have to think. Because of the way people can consume sports now, it's not necessarily imperative for you to. If you got the infrastructure, you're in play. That's. It's no longer just the market anymore. It feels like now all of these teams that are competing for, like, you know, actual teams, they're all within the range of the market that the market size that all of these sports have. So. They're all within there, but there was a time where, you know, if it was the NBA or whoever, they'd be like, no, man, this city means a whole lot to our company.
Yeah. I want to also add that the city of Denver is already being rumored, since they have a waiting list on season tickets of over 80,000 people and growing.
I would never join that list.
I didn't say you would, but
I'm
they're joining. There's already talk about moving a second team to Denver, and
second?
Damn right. Why are you laughing?
Oh, you're talking NBA.
No, a second NFL team.
Oh, you are talking NFL.
Yes, I am.
Wow.
There's rumors of it. I don't think it's imminent, but you've got 2 in New York. You've got 2 in LA. You've already sold out if you buy the team in Denver. Why wouldn't somebody want to invest in that? That's a sure thing. The NFL is going to go. What Tony's saying is the NFL is going to go where all that money is, and if the city, you know, let's just use Minneapolis, can't buck up for the Vikings, move them to Denver and have a sure thing there. That's how it's going to work, I think, over time.
I mean, I think he's right.
I don't know that Vikings made it all the way to Denver.
I don't mean the Vikings was just an example.
They just got a stadium.
I had to take a shot
good.
at the geographic thing.
Number 3.
Here are your Denver Vikings.
But why is it so weird? You've got two teams in one stadium in Los Angeles. So why is this so foreign to you?
My first thought would be those two cities are mega cities, and Denver is a big city, but not a mega.
Yes, it's not. But there's not an 80,000 waiting list for tickets for the Chargers. There is for the Broncos.
It's a good point. All right, we got to hurry up. This was a good conversation. We got to keep going. There was an incident with two Red Sox teammates last night, Jarren Duran and Wilson Contreras. Here's what happened, and then you're gonna hear Jarren Duran talking about it after the game, but I'll explain it a little bit. So it's just a simple sac fly to left field.
But it's not a sac fly. It's a pop-up behind the shortstop.
Okay. So Wilson Contreras doesn't go.
Right.
And Jarren Duran's very angry, turns around and says, "What the bleep, man? What the bleep?" And then he goes into the dugout, he turns around, he throws his hands in the air, and he's pretty angry.
And he yells, "Run!"
And here is, at some point, Jarren Duran starts talking, because I edited this, so I probably should have known a little bit earlier.
Showing your coaching staff up, showing your team
forgot that part.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's nothing. It's something that within the team that we have that we work on, and it's nothing. Like, you guys don't need to know. Nobody needs to know. That's something between us and the team that we know it's about. So that doesn't really matter.
I just love he says, "Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here." Chris, you're up first on this one. Simple teammate dust-up that gets swept away, or something more?
I have a quick question.
Thank you.
I have a quick question first, though.
Yes.
Is Jarren Duran the same kid who was screamed at to kill himself by fans?
Yes.
Okay. So Jarren Duran is still, I think, I don't know. I'm just saying it's possible that, he still, has some emotional things that he's working out. It's possible.
Okay.
Because his behavior here seems absolutely idiotic and ludicrous. I can't get behind it in any way.
Yeah.
Based on what I just saw, his answer to me, Tony will tell you better because he's been there, but his answer rings of somebody walking into him before the game was over, and the game was over, and say, "You absolutely are not saying anything about this. We're not going with this. So you're going to have to shut it down, figure out how to do it." Because I don't believe for a second it's something with the team that, this was just really, like, to me, like almost a CTE reaction from a baseball player. Like, you're going to get that mad on a pop-up 5 yards over the shortstop's head?
They've been working on it.
Well, all right. I'll let Tony get in. He knows better, probably.
But so you're saying there's something more here. It's not just a simple dust-up.
I do, yes.
Okay. Tony, something more, or simple teammate dust-up?
So much to say here. Simple dust-up overall, like, grand scheme of things, it's a simple dust-up. But it is a window into how different things are in today's game and environment. Like, it's a lot more. It's a little bit more passive aggressive, and I just think if I don't know if Ryan Braun would have come in and was like hit a ball like that, and Ricky Weeks didn't tag, right? And he was doing that on the field, not like in the dugout.
He was showing him up pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Showing him up. There would have at least something along the lines of saying, if you ever do that again, we're going to take it to the tunnel, right? Like,
that would have been the minimum. The maximum would have been that they just would have fought outside the tunnel.
Immediately, right then and there.
Right.
That's that. Secondly, I mean, I don't think that was PR that told him not to say anything. I think he realizes that he probably was out of pocket for that. And typically I'm not on the side of Wilson Contreras very often.
No.
But Soderstrom has a good arm in left field.
Oh, there's no way.
The irony of that whole thing is that an inning later, Butler was on third, and there was the same exact pop-up only to Jarren Duran, and Butler tagged up and scored on it.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
And And it's funny. The baseball gods have a crazy way of
they're almost
humbling you.
undefeated, also, aren't
That
they?
is incredible.
Well, Butler's
And
a lot
so-
faster than Contreras.
True,
let's also
Butler
never
is,
making it.
but Contreras is not slow. By the way, Contreras can run,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
if that was a shallow pop, like it's one of those ones where, as the hitter, you can't say nothing. Like it would have been nice for him to take it off and somehow get in there. Yeah. He would have been doing you a favor. You don't get to and this to me this is why I still have questions as we move into August if that Boston thing is real. No one said nothing to him at that time. Like there was no cameras in there. Like y'all just gonna let him scream across the field at Wilson
it's not
Contreras?
a good look for your club.
No one even looked like they said anything. Like, hey man, that's a shout. So man, I don't know. That was it was disappointing, but then it was all good though once it got flipped on him in the following couple innings. I just thought, but they still ended up winning at that game. By the way, they
so
came
it all
back
gets
with a couple
kind of
homers.
swept under the rug, but
It does because they won, so it's all good.
That's right. Yeah, you win.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I wouldn't be surprised at all if those two had a slugfest at some
that
point.
would be let's
Because Wilson Contreras don't seem like the type that's going to
Are
be
you kidding
like
me? And that's
scared.
a guy I don't want to mess with either. All right, we got to really quickly move through these, but
some good
thank
topics
you,
today,
thank
man.
you. CBS Sports announced that NFL analyst Tony Romo is going to be on indefinite leave following his arrest, and J.J. Watt is going to be elevated to the #1 seat alongside Jim
Wally
Nance.
Pip.
I was going to ask you that, Tony. I was going to ask, do you think Tony Romo gets his seat back?
Nope. I think it's a wrap. Not at CBS. I think it's a wrap, man. It would be very surprising.
He's going to be dropped to the Andrew Catalong league level.
Hey,
That's good. He'll do Dolphin
where,
games then.
I don't know where he's going to be dropped to, but I don't think, they've been looking for a way to get old JJ in there, and here the door has opened.
Yep. Chris, do you think he ever gets his seat back, Mr. Romo?
Well, I was, I hadn't looked at it from Tony's perspective because I think this is the natural course of things, and we want to see how Tony Romo reacts here. And as I talked about yesterday, does he take some steps to positively meet the challenge of overcoming this embarrassing situation, or does he lollygag? And if he does, then I don't have to bring him back. Okay. So I still think there's an outside shot that he'd come back, unless they're that enamored with J.J. Watt, which I'm not aware of. So.
Wait, what about where's Olsen at these days?
Yeah,
he's
he's Fox.
Fox, yeah.
He needs Brady to get a drunk driving thing.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they go try to poach. Olsen.
I mean, they could.
They should.
Could.
Olsen deserves to be on
Olsen's awesome.
top run.
You know what? I hated him earlier. He grew on me.
Yes, we told you.
JJ Watt, I need more time with.
I don't think
have
he's
an
ready
opinion.
yet for that.
Yeah, I agree. All right.
You guys are probably all right.
I can't play the video because we don't have enough time, but LPGA Tour player Charlie Hull has angered the internet for something people think was just
smoking cigarettes again?
Mean. No, but I'm glad that you remember that because she does smoke cigarettes on the golf course. Maybe not anymore, but she did like a year ago.
Yeah.
So the video is of her caddy with a scratcher in his hand, and he is like over the moon. He has won 100,000 pounds, everyone. He's showing everyone in the caddy tent. They're filming him. He's doing the thing where he takes off his hat and he rubs his hair like, I can't believe this is happening. He's like super excited until Charlie Hull tells him, hey, bro, I played a prank on you, and that scratcher is not real. And so everybody on the internet thinks.
Wait, whose caddy was it? Hers?
Her caddy.
Her own caddy. She did this too.
Yes.
Wow.
So other people are just saying this is downright mean. Chris, is this a type of prank that's too mean to actually do?
I don't know in this day and age if anything is anymore. I mean, there's some of these things that are happening, right? I mean, I don't know.
This is mean.
Of course it is. But I think it's right alongside a lot of these other pranks that I see and hear. There's how many television shows right now devoted only to playing pranks on people?
Facts.
And almost every one of them is just as mean as that.
Some have almost given bodily harm because the joke has gone too far.
Yeah, Anthony Davis, the basketball player, has his own prank show. How did he get a prank? Tony and I, you know what, Tony? Let's get a prank show. Why not?
Yeah.
Everybody else has one.
That'd be fun.
This is harsh, but it seems like it's right in line.
Tony, do you think this is too mean to actually do?
Nah, this is sports, man. Like you'd be surprised some of the pranks that have happened. I mean, things that would give somebody a heart attack.
We're not talking
or-
Greg Maddux.
Yeah, I was
because
just going to
he's
say, don't bring up
disgusting.
Greg Maddux because this.
No, I
this
wasn't gonna
is
bring
tame.
that one up, but I mean, like even the popcorn in your car, you know how like
Yeah.
that could like mess your car up.
That is annoying
Some of these
too.
cars.
Yeah, the banana in the tailpipe.
And that's on the lighter side. That's on the lighter side. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of par for the course, especially with athletes.
All right, so that's it for the Big Five. When we get back, we'll get you set for Game 2 between the Padres and the Giants on 97.3 Fan.
Think you can outsmart me in a sports trivia showdown? Step into the ring for the Midday Sports Standoff every day at 12.
Not hearing. What do I know? Crisello. Those listening are wondering the same thing. Yeah, what do you know? Happy hour time, 5:06. Crisello, Mr. Skraby, Tony Gwynn Jr. down at the ballpark. Happy hour brought to you by GL Pools, the swimming pool experts. Trusted by thousands of San Diegans for 20 years. The baseball season's in full swing, so is swim season. Make sure your pool is ready. Call now, mention radio for 20% off new service plans in 2026. Just a couple of little potpourri items. First of all, if you just tuned in, Padres, Giants, we got that. Did we ever give a lineup? I don't think we actually.
We didn't, but I can.
Why don't we rectify that?
Rectify like that.
Yeah, let's get some lineups out there.
It's not too different. Fernando Tatis Jr. leading off playing right field. Luis Rengifo actually playing second base. Is that the first time he's played second base?
Not ever.
Well, yeah, but with the Padres, maybe. Anyway, he's batting second. Manny Machado playing third, batting third. Ty France cleaning up at first base. Jackson Merrill batting fifth, playing center field. Luis Campusano DHing today. In the sixth spot, Xander Bogaerts, shortstop, seventh spot. Freddie Fermin catching in the eighth spot. And then Jace Bowen getting another go in left field in the ninth spot.
Yeah, the fact that Jace Bowen's played the last two nights against left-handed pitching doesn't really bode well for the future of Gavin Sheets hitting against left-handed pitching.
Yeah.
Not that he probably should. His average has, been that bad.
But Jace Bowen is giving you nothing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like you're not playing Gavin Sheets, but your replacement is Jace Bowen, who hasn't been able to hit either.
No.
Freddie Fermin gets the call tonight. But, I guess they got to keep playing him, or at least they want to. Jake is the guy sitting out tonight. That's why.
Yeah.
Against a lefty. So back-to-back lefties. Padres did not fare against a lefty last night. We'll see what they do against Wisenhunt tonight. And, of course, we got Bradley. And then without me talking to Craig Stammen, I would assume Marquez would be next in line tonight. Although anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
With the way the Padres have been doing that. The one baseball note today, no trades have been made yet. The rumors are just flying everywhere. So, it's hard to believe any of them at this point. But it does make sense that the Mets are going to trade Freddie Peralta because they scratched him from his start tonight. And that's normally what you do when you want to trade somebody and you'd hate to see them get hurt before you actually made the trade.
Yes.
Tua Tagovailoa said he missed camp time being cautious. That's pretty much what everybody says who's actually hurt.
I don't understand. How did you get a sore back? I know I'm
not patting himself on the back because he hasn't done anything.
I know I'm not a professional athlete. I know I'm in terrible shape. I know that I would be injured in 5 seconds stepping onto a football field.
I know what you're getting
but
at,
that's not my job.
I know. I get it.
How do you go through an entire offseason and show up with a sore back?
That is pretty hard to believe that you would get ready. You'd have the whole offseason. With the millions of trainers at your disposal.
And how many games did he miss at the end of last year?
And the money and everything. And then the day you walk in, you'd say, well, by the way, I'm already hurt. That is a little, you know what, Scrabe? I think you got a fair, I don't agree with you hardly ever, but this is my one time for July. We just got it in under the wire.
Do you remember who the head coach of the Falcons is?
Dan, is it Dan?
No.
Oh, no, they changed it.
Yep.
No.
Stefanski. It's his problem now. It's his problem now. I agree. I think it's hilarious because everybody thinks that Kevin Stefanski is the greatest coach of all time.
He's won the Coach of the Year twice.
But he is a garbage coach. I'm sorry. I'm not
disagreeing with you. Don't disagree.
He got rid of his only good player, which was Baker Mayfield.
I don't disagree with you on Stefanski. I don't. If you're so bad that when you go 8-8, they give you Coach of the Year, that doesn't tell me that much. So, yeah, but that's a great call by you on Tua. I mean, how can you take the whole offseason off and walk in and say, I'm hurt?
I was listening to some podcasts.
Like, what did you do?
And they were just
Your whole world is about being healthy and ready to go. That's all that matters.
By the way, you're fighting for a starting spot. Something.
You sometimes wonder this isn't fair to Tua because he's in the same boat as a lot of guys. But you do wonder sometimes just how committed some of these athletes can be. Some, when they've already made $300 million in signing bonus money before they step on the field. It's not like, it's like if Tua's I'm using him as an example, it's not fair. But if Tua's at home and says, should I do the extra lap? Yeah, what the hell for? I already made the
I was just thinking that. If I was given a bunch of money.
I'm not fighting for my next paycheck, so, to do the next lap.
I would definitely want to continue to do well, but I don't know that I would have that extra little push to do that lap. I think you're right.
I think there's something to it. All right, another quick. There's no NBA news that I know of today, unless LeBron changed his mind about something.
No, he didn't change his mind. I did see that the Clippers offered him a reported 1 year, $20 million, and he turned that down.
To take the $4 million with Philadelphia?
Yes, correct.
The Clippers could have offered him the franchise. He wouldn't have taken it because the Clippers team is not as good as Philadelphia. Make no mistake.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
All right. Here's one for you.
For you?
Cam Scatta Boo.
Yeah.
Says he's done some dumb things.
Correct.
But he says, I've learned.
Okay.
I don't. Okay. I know on the surface you're going to say okay, and I am too. My surface reaction to that is okay. You're learning. That's good. But if you didn't know that jumping off a chair and doing a backflip at some fan fest isn't something that could jeopardize your season when you missed almost all of last year. If you didn't know that was dumb until afterwards when somebody pointed it out to you, I don't know what that says to you about you.
I hate to use this phrase.
Am I right or wrong?
This word. No, you're
Okay.
right. I mean, I hate to use this, but he seems like a meathead.
Meathead. He's going to have to do something. He's going to have to do something to change my opinion.
Me too. I mean, he also attacked CTE and he attacked asthma as being fake. It's like, out of all the things to attack, random that you're attacking asthma and CTE as fake things.
Dr. Scattaboo, please report to duty.
Hey, John Harbaugh said, I told him, next time you do that, you better land it. I'm like, why didn't you just tell him not to do it?
Yeah, John Harbaugh's life is on the line a little. I mean, I'll be honest with you, a little of John Harbaugh's career DNA is going to be on this Giant job.
It is. It totally is.
As great as he's been with the Ravens, if the Giants stink when he's there, then they're gonna give the glory for the Ravens to somebody else.
That could be true.
That's how those things tend to work.
I don't even remember who took over for him.
Sometimes
Todd Monken, maybe.
Yeah, with the Ravens.
Yeah. I think it's Monken.
I believe it is Mr. Monken, and we never mentioned it.
What?
But we don't have much time to talk about it.
What?
Debo, back to your Niners, Skraby, 1 year deal. You're mad?
This is a no big deal.
Why are you mad?
I'm not mad at all.
Debo's like your guy.
Okay, I'll tell you why I'm mad. Because he 2 years ago said he was the best receiver in the NFL, and then they feed me the ball, and then they started feeding him the ball, and then he started dropping the ball. And he didn't want anything to do with the 49ers after that year. And he did that whole thing in the offseason where he was like, I'm leaving. And now he's back. So
your thing was good riddance for good.
Yeah, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. And now he's back because he wants to be there. Okay? He's not the same player. He's not the same player.
No, I would have to agree. I mean, you hate to say it in the NFL. You get a couple of years there, and Debo had his couple of years.
Yeah, he did.
I think that's fair.
He did. And then he went to – I understand why he would have gone to the Commanders. They had a good chance, or on paper had a good chance at going deep in the playoffs. But last year was a disaster for everyone.
Best case scenario, Debo gets in there. They got Mike Evans. They got Ricky Pearsall. And Debo can get in there as a third guy and have a really nice little year.
You know what the rumors are, though? Ricky Pearsall's injured.
Oh.
And so they're thinking that he might be out for a little bit. And
Debo's starting already?
Yeah, which Ricky Pearsall, come on. You draft him in the first round. The guy's played like 8 games in his career.
Yeah, that gets old. It does. To me, it does. I know it when you're hurt, but as an owner or not an owner, but a GM or as a coach, I'm like, I can't, you're nothing to me.
Yeah, you're like, can I count on you in the offseason when we're talking about positions? Can I count on you to play 17 games?
Tua, when we go open camp 8 months from now, are you going to be healthy?
No, the answer is no. You should always assume no with that.
Tua. Come on, Tua. Worst case scenario, by the way, with Debo is he shows up, he doesn't do much, and they just cut him.
Yeah, that's right.
It wouldn't shock me. It could go that way. Walker Buehler was our Friar Friday guest. Find out why Walker Buehler thinks Chris Ello is actually kind of cool.
It's true.
Shocked me. It's coming up next on Gwynn and Chris.
The Braden.
A lot of them are bad. You owe me for holding off on this one earlier today.
Okay.
Because I thought of it earlier today, but I smartly did not use it in his presence. But what if Walker Buehler played for the Texas Rangers and he was Walker Texas Ranger?
I think that would be very cool.
You'd like that.
I think that they would actually, they would be a bobblehead night. You have to.
Walker Texas Ranger action TV show with Chuck Norris from 1993 to 01.
I watched it, of
Did
course.
you?
Of
Okay.
course. Some of it. I mean, I'm
Some of it. Sure.
not saying I watched every episode.
Well, our version, Walker San Diego Padre, was on with Tony and I earlier. It's our Friar Friday interview. The thing to look for here is when Walker Buehler actually thinks something I did was cool.
Walker Buehler, starting pitcher for the San Diego Padres. Walker, how are you today, my friend?
Good. How you guys doing?
We are doing well. You guys back at it again today. Just want to get your kind of thoughts, man, on the year for yourself, man. You came into camp. You know, there was a lot of talk about you kind of having to reinvent yourself, not throwing at the velocity you used to. Just talk us through a little bit about, you know, where you started and where you feel like you are right now in that kind of journey.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously this is kind of the third year of going through, getting back from the surgery and kind of having to pitch a little bit differently. And probably the first 4 or 5 starts were, somewhat a little bit of the same stuff I've been dealing with for a couple of years now, right? And, had a good little stretch there and for 8 or 9 or 10 starts and 3 around the All-Star break. So it's kind of been a little bit up and down. But, I think if I take a step back and look at it, I think outside of the 3 around the All-Star break, I've been really pleased with what we've kind of been able to put together and achieve. And I think obviously there's some room for me to try and, take down some more innings, be a little bit more efficient and things like that. But all in all, I've been pretty pleased with some of this, kind of strides we've taken.
Padre pitcher Walker Buehler joining us on the SDCCU fan hotline. Not big bank banking, it's better. Walker, when I play golf and I hit a seed 220 right down the middle, I'm really excited. And then I get to the next hole and I'm like, all right, how did I do that? I can't replicate it, obviously, or I'd be, So I'm as a professional pitcher, I'm sure what you were doing in June, you would love to replicate, every time out. But there's other factors, right? The other guys are standing in the batter's box too. So, I'm just wondering how you've dealt with, trying to get back to June as quickly as you can.
Yeah, I think the past 2 outings have given up a few runs kind of here and there and been pretty pleased with it. But largely it's been, self-induced, right? Walking guys or kind of putting myself in a bad spot. And so for me, I think the kind of recipe is what it is. Don't put guys on base, and I'm going to give up hits here and there, but you avoid the big one and avoid the big inning. Things have kind of been good, and my first 3 in July were kind of the opposite of that, and that I was getting hit and hit kind of hard, as well as kind of making the mistakes on my own. So luckily we've kind of gotten rid of a little piece of that, and now I think it's kind of putting it all together. It's hard to say that this late in the year, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to get back to being a really good major league starting pitcher, and I don't know if that's necessarily something that happens overnight or in 1 year, but I think we've done a really good job, and the coaching staff has helped me a ton in terms of getting my body in a spot that at least it can kind of catch up to what, the stuff my brain wants to do.
Walker Buehler joins us here on Friar Friday. Talk to me a little bit about your cutter, man, because I've been watching you all season long. It just seems like to me when your cutter is on, a whole lot of good starts to happen. Has the cutter first tell me if I'm wrong. Secondly, if that is the case, has it always been that way? Has the cutter always been? Because I just think back to that start against LA. I mean that thing had them in spinning in circles, basically.
Yeah,
has it always been that way with the cutter?
Yeah, I think what's interesting about that pitch in particular, I really started throwing a lot of them in 2021, which was probably my best year. And, I think people kind of forget that pitch is based off the fastball, right? And so,
right.
There's certain days where I feel like we overuse it or I throw too many of them and we get deeper into games and it's kind of not as effective. And so, I think trying to establish my four-seam fastball, regardless of the fact that it's not 95, 97, 98 like it was, in years past, I think is important for me, and letting that kind of be a weapon and not really the whole show. And I think in a lot of these games that I've pitched well, these cutters are late in at bats or in advantage counts, not trying to bail me out. And I think, I have a tendency to kind of run to it when things get a little squirrely on me, but the games that I've been really good this year or felt really good about the way I threw the ball, largely the cutter wasn't kind of as common a throw. It was a little bit more sparingly, but I think especially with some of the struggles that I've had and trying to kind of survive any way I can, I think naturally we're going to throw a lot of them. And I just think it moves a little bit differently than other people's cutters. I think in today's day and age in our game, everything's so data driven and everyone kind of can quantify everything that everyone does, right? And so we're trying to find ways to throw, some people call them unicorn pitches or just kind of outliers, certain release points, certain heights, how you can make the ball move from certain spots, creates angles that are hard for hitters to deal with. And I think my cutter largely is one of those pitches that there's just not many of them that move quite in the same, shape that mine does.
Yeah. Walker Buehler is with us, and I'll tell you, Walker, I'm having a great time listening to you talk about pitching and controlling the baseball. I mean, for somebody that did a little of the pitching there myself, but not at the pro level, that's really fun to listen to a guy that's been doing this. And I mean, I don't know that you realize, but I just looked at this. You've started 167 games in your career. You've only been the losing pitcher 34 times. This guy's not easy to beat. And, I think that speaks to your great toughness and mentality out there. But I want to ask you about the new fangled pitching chaos, which you're not necessarily a part of, or at least on the periphery of. As a pitcher, what do you think of it? And what do you think of it for this team? It's actually seemed like it's worked pretty well here.
Oh, you're talking about kind of how we're operating our
yeah, right. With
here?
2 innings here and kind of piggybacking, that kind of thing.
I think people kind of forget. Obviously I spent a lot of years in LA. We did some wild stuff over there as well, and the game is just different now, right? Not everyone lines up and throws 7 innings off the jump like they used to, and as I said, I think everything's a little bit more quantifiable, and it takes way less time for guys to get figured out here. And so this kind of new bulk role that I think is coming into the big leagues it has certainly been effective, and we've been, doing some really good things with it. I think on my head in the union side, having been the rep in LA for a bit, I think it's a very tough role for a player because the current system, as we've got the CBA kind of coming up, is not set up to reward guys like that. So I don't want to kind of tinfoil hat and say that teams are doing it for that reason, but it certainly doesn't hurt when you have a guy that can go and give you bulk innings and then you don't have to pay him like a starting pitcher, right? And so there's just a lot about, kind of things that are effective but aren't effectively great for the player. I think the starting pitching, the lack of kind of traditional starting pitching or the way that role has changed is bad for players. And so, at the end of the day, I'm happy that we're winning, and I think a lot of these guys are kind of finding success in that role. I think all of them would tell you they'd rather throw 5 or 6 innings at a time as well, and that's how they grew up. And so it's an interesting deal. Obviously, we're in the middle of a playoff run, and we're trying to, kind of piece it together, but at least for me personally, that's not something I would really be interested in doing or think that I would do very well at. I think a lot of the value in myself as a player is that, like, I'm not afraid to go through 100 pitches even when I'm losing and stay in games and try and eat innings and things like that, or when things are going well to try and be efficient enough to stay in there for a while. So, I think that's a little bit more in my head than it is in kind of what's happened for me on the field this year, but at the end of the day, that's what I was kind of raised doing, and that's what I did when I was at my best, and I think that's what I'm kind of looking to try and achieve myself.
Walker, fun question before we let you get out of here, and I've been paying close attention. I don't know that it has anything to do with weather, but how do you decide if you go long sleeve or if you go suns out, guns out? Because I've seen you do it both in hot and cold weather. It hasn't seemed to matter.
Listen, man, sometimes it's just too damn hot out there, but I like to wear sleeves. I don't really know why. That's kind of a new development. But no, I mean, listen, a lot of what I wear, cleats, gloves, sleeves, is based on if it went good or bad for me the last time and if I'm just sticking with it or not. So, certain jerseys I think fit me a little bit better. These ones we're wearing tonight are a little baggy. I've got a smaller jersey in this one. I also am not a huge fan of the pink sleeves. I would like a navy sleeve with it. So when we wear these ones, I don't wear sleeves. I don't think it's quite as scientific as anyone may imagine.
Yeah, but it's not like he's never thought about it. He does kind of have it pretty well figured out.
We spend a lot of time in here thinking. I just don't think many of us think about anything too smart.
Hey, Walker, thanks so much. Can I just add one thing? Tony will tell you this. I was once pitching at San Diego State. I got taken out in the 6th inning of a game. I think I had a shutout, but there were runners on base. The manager came out, and he made the move, and I started walking off the mound, a total no-no, to the dugout and flipped him the ball on my way by. Suffice to say, yes, I paid a price.
No, he said he respects it.
Yeah, but is that what he said? I didn't hear him. I was going to say, but how you do it is amazing because I see the look on your face. You never want to come out of the game, and I think that's one of the great things about you. So.
Well, listen, it is my first year. Hopefully we get to come back for a second year. Maybe we'll get a little more fireworks. But at the end of the day, I am kind of the new guy. I'm trying to stay in the good graces a little bit.
Walker, we appreciate you coming on and hanging with us, man. Have a good one the rest of the day.
Thanks, Walker.
All right, guys. Thanks.
I think
Walker
the quote
Buehler,
was
Friar Friday.
Sorry, Tony. I think the quote was, I respect that maneuver.
I love the word maneuver, too.
I respect that maneuver. I flipped the ball to the coach.
I also like how he says, if we go run it back next year or whatever.
Yes, he might be a little more angry when they take him out. You can see it from you can be sitting in the right field pavilion. When they come to take Walker Buehler out of a game, he's like.
He doesn't even look.
He doesn't
even look at the manager.
Doesn't like it. But that's the kind of competitor I think you want out there, frankly, which is a little different from this day and age where guys tend to start looking for the manager to come out. Right? 6th inning, hey, come get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never see that from Walker Buehler. He'll pitch tomorrow night. Tonight it'll be more of the quilt or the chaos, whichever one you want to call it, as Bradley Rodriguez starts with Marquez due to follow him. Giants left-hander Wisenhunt. And we'll get going here with Sam Levitt's pregame show in a moment. We have been telling you that we got the last pair of tickets to Guns N' Roses.
We did so good all week.
And then today we almost forgot it completely.
We did so good.
So we're right at the end. No fanfare here. Just call in 833-288-0973. Who leads the Padres right now in victories? What pitcher leads the team in wins? First person at 833-288-0973. You get the last pair of tickets. Now, real quick, Monday is the trade deadline, and the trade deadline happens during our show.
Yep.
The deadline is 3 o'clock.
Yep.
We're here on until 5:30, right, that day, because the Padres play the Diamondbacks Monday night.
Yes, they do.
So we'll be on, and again, even make sure you stay after 3 because a lot of times all the trades don't get announced by 3.
They trickle in.
They just have to be made. The trade has to be made by 3, but you'll hear much more trades after that. So what will the Padres do or not do? What will everything else, all of this stuff, we'll have it right down to the wire Monday at 3 o'clock. And Kyle Glazer from Baseball America is supposed to be here with us, Skraby, to make you and I sound a little more intelligent about some of the trades that are made and some of the prospects that may be going back and forth on Monday. So make sure you're here Monday for the trade deadline. Skraby is going to pick up your phone calls if you're dialing in to win those Guns N' Roses. Stick around. It is the Padre pregame show for Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello. Have a great weekend. Let's let's just, what was it last week? And we won 3, right?
Yeah,
So let's see if we can do that again.
All right.
See you Monday.